Clap.
Clap, clap, clap. As in the core of J City, upon a large, ever-stretching tower that scrapes up against the sky itself. Of course. This is the site of unification, the area of teamwork and cooperation, and new goals stretching to the future. JamiroCorp is an innovator, and it is innovating new security solutions for the people of J City. Not just JamiroCorp, but working together with a number of other highly productive, innovative, ingenuity-clad super titans of organizations. Now, a meeting is concluding between two of these great partners. As walking on out of the elevator, yeah, there you go.
No.
Both of these two, keeping a healthy distance between each other, yet still acting like friends, continue to move down the elevator as the one stepping forward immediately, Peter, turns over. Divino, it has been absolutely a pleasure to work through solutions with you today.
Oh, absolutely. It's great. I'm so glad we get to work together, actually, Peter. I've been looking forward to it for some time.
I would say the same thing. Peter stops and smiles at you. After all, the both of us have, we've been often clashing against each other plenty of times, but he goes over and he puts out a hand and he wants to shake with you. After all, I think the two of our heads together can make so much better progress than separate. Don't you agree?
I do. I'm going to shake his hand. We can absolutely improve the lives of all those in J City. It's a great feeling.
Absolutely. Let me take you to your car. He kind of like steps up beside you and it's just like he moves along with you as he kind of is like, thank you for all the assistance recently with security measures around the city. Everything seemed as almost
you have to understand, Avex Group may only own about, 8% of the city territory, but with defense contracts, we protect nearly 60%. We have to ensure that we do our best to protect your people as well. It's just a given. There's so much going on that's dangerous these days.
Absolutely. I, for one, greatly appreciate the number of Avex Corporation guards we find on the tower at all times. I understand that recently we've started working in our own security, and I'm sure with Blackstar's assistance, even Avex can be able to take on the rest of the city's problems.
Well, that is the hope. With you taking in Blackstar's aid, at least then we can allocate our assets elsewhere, ensure that more of the city is covered than we've ever been able to protect before. It's a win-win.
Absolutely. A win for everyone. He smiles and keeps stepping forward. I know I'm
a little slower. This cane, after all.
Of course, I'm so sorry. He makes sure to step carefully. Do you need a hand, or can you handle it yourself?
Oh, no. I'm getting the hang of it. I just want to ensure we're not rushing this. It's a little bit hard to walk sometimes.
Of course not. He smiles and walks alongside of you as he kind of continues. It must have been very hard dealing with all the events recently. In fact, I heard a bit about, he kind of turns over and gets a side glance. I heard about that awful business on the train.
Oh, yes. Gestures at his eye. Yeah, an eye is more than I thought I'd have to give, but nowhere near as much as I'm willing to give to protect J City. It is, after all, my home.
I see. He kind of steps forward. Yes, this is so many people's homes. And I think the thing I want more than anything is them all to be living happily. You understand?
Of course. I agree with that sentiment. I'm glad that we're in agreement here. Actually, before we get any further, I do have to ask, though. Have you managed any information? I know we've been exchanging a little bit here and there, but have you found anything else going on in the unfortunate bombed area? Anymore?
Bombed area. Oh, he kind of turns and gives you a concerned look. I'm so sorry, Divino. I don't think anyone survived that bombing. We've been looking very hard, but it doesn't seem like anyone showed up. There has been some some rather unfortunate looters that have found their way into the district.
Terrible.
Well armed, too. I'd be careful. Your Avex boys might be in real danger.
Oh, I'm sure they can handle themselves if they need it, but I'll keep it in mind, thank you.
No problem. He continues moving forward again. And is everything going all right with business in Avex territory?
As all right as it can be. What are you after?
No, I'm not after anything. I'm just worried that all the new restrictions we've had to put in place haven't dampened, your business too much.
No, not too much. We are doing our best to accommodate these new policies while still protecting. You understand, a little bit of growing pain is fairly standard practice for a corporation, especially as they expand. It's just quite the, Sorry, what was I saying? I lose a little track sometimes.
Oh, well, it's simple. He kind of puts his hand up. You were talking about how much money you're all ready to make during this crisis period.
Money's not my concern, Peter. You know that.
Of course.
I'm glad that we are both able to generate income for our respective companies as we need to, but I'm a people person.
Oh,
Man of the people.
You suddenly stop as you hear a voice ring out across from you. Where is that man? He calls out, using Ronin in my territory? What's this nonsense? You hear someone cutting through the crowd as, moving almost immediately. He steps up, directly down below, as he kind of turns over and sees your glance. But he's not alone, for he never goes alone.
Ah, my next appointment.
Oh. He kind of looks and sees the enforcer, and he just suddenly frowns a bit. Turn off the cameras!
Oh, isn't that such an interesting political move? I'm so impressed by the fact that Milli Vanilli, of all people, came up with that.
It's an exception. It's grandfathered in. It's not allowed anymore. After he dies, that's it.
And then I'm gonna turn, Shaw, my friend, what can I do for you?
Oh, Divino, my boy! He turns over smiling. The enforcer steps up behind, kind of looking around at every direction. He picks an angle where the most cameras would see him, and where his voice could bellow the most. And he kind of pulls out a book, and he starts reciting poetry out loud in the room. It's a droning noise. A noise that plays underneath everyone else. But this noise makes every single word that comes out of his mouth, every single sound picked up in the area, that's copyright material.
Oh, that is just truly one of the most interesting. Great job, Shaw. This was your policy, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Gotta push on through Congress pretty quickly. He kind of goes over and pats your shoulders like twice. I tell you what, though. Oh, the look on his face. He kind of turns over to Peter when he realizes I can say whatever I damn please.
Oh, I'm sure that must be quite the thrill. Peter, could you be a darling and grab a drink for me? I'm quite parched.
He kind of stops, he goes over and sits down, and he kind of snaps his finger and kind of points over. One of the Avex guards approaches, and he says, go get some water. And he fetches off to get some water as Shaw kind of looks across. Well, Divino, I take it that them Ronin are yours, aren't they?
Well, technically, we know who they belong to, but yes, I have employed them. After all, how else do I get such an important man to send me a visit? At his urgency, of course.
Of course, nothing makes me quicker than hearing about Ronan cleaning up around the docks. What's going on, Divino? What's with this? You know I'd come as quick as a fly to trash if I heard you calling.
Oh, I know that, but I felt that it was really important to enter a negotiation from a specific footing. You understand?
Oh, okay. He kind of
I look at Peter and wink.
He gives you a little bit of a smile, which then kind of recedes back to his normal kind of glare. Well, all right then, Divino, let me know what you're looking at.
Well, after all of the discussions we've had about working to the betterment of the city, it's come to my attention, truly important that I think this is the case, that your shipping lanes are rather easily overtaken. It's a threat to the city's well-being, wouldn't you say?
He kind of like looks directly across you. Well, it is. You're not the first one to notice it, but he kind of stops and checks around. Looks like city security's all caught up. Can't do the damn job recently.
Yes, I've heard a number of these claims. However, I have an idea that would ensure the safety of your shipping lanes.
Oh, really?
Indeed. This isn't a word I would throw around lightly, but I've been discussing with Joe the idea of pursuing a merger. Divino says very loudly.
The word happens. Everyone stops and looks. There's a silence that calls over the room, except for one soul. The enforcer continues reciting his poetry with absolutely zero pause. Even something as surprising as a merger doesn't shock him, for it is his responsibility to keep moving forward. But even Shaw is held for a moment as he looks, his eyes kind of wide. You notice he's looking across at you as almost... No, really. And you said Joe's been thinking of this too.
Joe has. However, I would much rather... I'm going to look over at the enforcer. Be willing... I'd much rather play with Milli Vanilli's toys, you understand?
Oh, well, you like our little company. That's great, Deviano. Well, he kind of turns over to the enforcer and just generally looks across. Well, if you're up for playing with Milli Vanilli's toys, you want to get in our games, I'd love to have you. Now, I would love to... I gotta admit, you and Avix make some great films. Hey, I don't know, a merger, if I could get some deals on that, I might be interested, but he kind of stops, looks at his nails a little bit, and then kind of turns up to you again. You know, I'd love if we could arrange me to have a little starring role.
Starring role?
After all,
of course.
In such productions like a film, there can only be one true lead.
I understand what you're saying. In fact, that's what I wanted to discuss. Joe is a rather exceptional lead when it comes to the wanton violence, but he is... The rabid dog mentality can only get you so far. You need someone stronger in a lead role, able to present a more firm, grounded material.
Oh, well, I'm quite a grounded individual, Deviano. My means and desires are entirely human. I'm no wild dog.
And that's what I like about you, Shaw. Don't get me wrong. Avex has served quite a wonderful, supportive web for me. But if there was a little bit of a change in management, we could see... All I want is to continue to work in my position.
I see now. He kind of goes over and pats your shoulder. So this is your game. He kind of turns over and looks directly over at Peter, who's got a little bit of... he's got a special kind of furious energy in his eyes. He looks across at all three of you in the center. He kind of turns over.
I wave at him, like that little coy.
Yeah. Shaw kind of like looks back and is just kind of refocuses himself, letting his hand off your shoulder. I always thought everything here seemed a little too good to be true. And you know what? I realized it was. He kind of checks around. At least for everyone else. But I think it's about time. Oh, it's about time for us sideshow characters to take center stage. You know what I mean?
I do. I do, quite indeed. Just think about all the potential that Milli Vanilli and Avex could really do together without having to undercut each other with currency on the line. One form, one body. Strong proposition, don't you think?
Absolutely. He kind of nods his head and goes forward to shake your hand. Well, you know I'm a CEO and I have my own swing. The board of directors are going to have a fit, but I'll see what we can do. After all, It sounds like you've just given me a proposition that's, quite frankly, too good to be true. And, well, I'm not one to pass up opportunities. You get a feeling with the way he grips his hand and the way he looks at you. This man's a shark, and while that means he's hardly trustable, you can't deny that a shark smells blood from miles away, and he keeps swimming in the direction of it. He's been having a fit during the entire phase of this operation. He's the only one who hasn't really suffered or taken any losses from the whole thing, and he's just been accepting platitudes tossed at him left and right.
I'm gonna, while taking his hand, lean in for your traditional, like, kiss on both cheeks sort of nonsense.
Yeah.
And just, like, to be clear, you can have Joe however you want to, approach such a thing. I literally just want to work with you. You're such an amazing leader. And what you have to provide here, well, I think that we could take this city by storm. And then I'm going to put back up.
Yeah. Big game hunting? I'd love to hunt a lion, absolutely. He goes and pats you on the shoulder, and he kind of steps back. After all, hunting big beasts is my favorite pastime. Hey, Enforcer, why don't you give that old shit a time out a bit? I want to get some nice dinner, and I'd love to get it in peace. He clicks the book shut. So it is. He steps back. Well then, boss, it's time to go. Of course. Divino, you have a wonderful time.
You as well, Shaw. It's always a pleasure.
He steps off with the Enforcer, both of them heading off. And then up here again, Peter kind of stands up, and he moves up, and it's just like, Divino. There's nothing I quite hate more than being punched in the gut.
Ooh. Yes, it is a nasty business being punched in the gut.
I'm used to backstabbed in this line of work, but I hate it when someone feels so brazen like they can stand in my face and insult me.
Oh, then you must genuinely love your line of work. After all, very few people would ever do something so bold. Something so ambitious.
He smiles, but he's gritting his teeth underneath. You can practically feel it as he just kind of looks across, and he goes over and puts a tight grip on your shoulder. He's just like, don't fuck with me, Divino. Stay in your lane.
Of course. I understand. I'll get out of your hair, Peter. I know you're a busy man. Divino trips on his cane, falling gut first into it, with it pressed into the ground. Full force. Peter gets to feel that.
Peter feels the force of essentially being whacked in the gut by a cane as he almost kind of stumbles back for a moment and tries to right himself and adjust as his eyes almost just kind of bulge for a moment for the sudden, almost winding pain that courses through his gut.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm clumsy. Would you be a dear and help me up? My feet just aren't what they used to be.
Silently, he moves over and almost rips you off the floor and deposits the cane back in your hand. Why don't you take the road out from here? I've got business to tend to.
Of course, Peter. I wouldn't want to get in the way of your business. Have a good day.
Of course. He kind of steps back and then brushes past your shoulder and starts walking away at quick speed.
I never did get that water. To walk away.
You start pacing away. The next step out to your vehicle to return you home after a wonderful day out. And meanwhile, across the city, in a crater, there lie a number of people. Now, for this next part, who are we gonna hit up first? Anyone have any preferences of what they want to talk to? Again, and if you'd like.
You want to go straight there? Okay, I'll switch gears. That's fine.
You want to do that? Why don't you do that?
No,
or do you want some time to chill out?
You want some time to chill out before you switch gears on us?
No. It's cool. Let's go.
That was so fucking good. That was so fucking good.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, so, well, hey, Bono.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go over here first. I shouldn't see any icons yet until Bono. Congratulations, you did it.
Wow, I'm so good at this.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you managed to do such a good job. I'm gonna be rich.
Yep, that's so okay. I know we just hit the ATM up. Here, let's go over here. All right.
Money, 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 payday, my favorite day.
So I need you to show me that you still have blue, because that's important. You know, you said you're hostage.
Oh yeah, hang on. He reaches into his shirt and pulls out a little ball. He's like still smiling despite it all. Well, I've never been in a place so gross before.
Oh.
No, I
not...
Thank you so much. Oh, well, no problem, little guy. He just hands him straight across.
He is a happy, pretty guy, like happy little guy there. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. I give you the money, you give me blue. Same time. No, what? Blue.
He already
blue,
handed blue over. Oh, hang on, I'll take him back then.
Yeah. No, I want to do this the right way. This is a hostage negotiation.
All right, man.
Listen, from a professional to you, I want you to understand. I know you're trying to get into this business. It's a hard line of work.
It's very hard.
If you want, I can try and refer you to somebody or something. The hitman.
That'd be great. I've only been able to get one successful hit before.
Oh, really? Who was it?
It was his grandma. She was really hard.
Man, you got like a strong. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, that's
she was one hit. She tried to kill me.
Oh, okay. No, I was worried for a second. That's fine. That works. That works. No, stand battles are always a challenge. I get that. So, like I said, we're gonna do this the correct way. Exchanging. Were we gonna fight after we exchange, or was that like were we on a peace treaty for the day and then tomorrow? How did you want to do that? I'll let you choose, but I want to warn you. Professionalism is key here, you know.
What he kind of sweats a bit. What would a professional do in this situation?
Well, since you are getting paid already, you might want to just walk off. Let this be for the day, and then come back. Well, okay. So here's the thing. You've got a strong stand. You're a pretty talented guy. I mean, you gotta work on your your bedside manner as a person, because you're not. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to give you constructive criticism. You understand?
Yeah, okay.
Because, you know, like, you make people a little uncomfortable. It just happens. That's part of
tactic.
But you don't want to make the people you're working with uncomfortable. The people you're working against, sure, yeah. But like, you see the difference, right? Look at how I smile. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
And then Bono is going to take the money while he's distracted in his hand and slap it hand first into blue, freezing him in place. See, professionalism says that I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to do anything to you. I give you my word. But I have to trust you too, and I don't. You understand that? Yeah, no, don't worry about the voice. I understand you can't move your mouth very well.
I get it.
Good.
I get it.
Good.
I'm not trustworthy.
Yeah, see, exactly. And you want to be trustworthy. If you're trying to get money out of someone, you got to be trustworthy. But here's my thought. Let me put a number in your phone for you.
I can't touch her right now.
Huh?
I can't touch her right now.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll be out of your hair in a second. Put the number in your phone. This is one of my bosses, not the one you met before, a different one. He might actually be able to find, work for you, like legitimate work. I mean, like I said, you're pretty capable stand. Your stand's pretty capable. And with a little bit of training, you could be really, you could do something good, like actually good, and get paid for it. You saw my bank account when you were looking over my shoulder, and I told you not to.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, none of that was from Deviano. That guy barely pays me. Yeah. Anyways,
We're going to the city.
don't try to talk. You're frozen. Do you not get that? It's fine. Just here. I put a tip in, an extra 0 just for you. Because you were such a good employee today. But consider turning your life around, because I mean this as nicely as I possibly can. If you come after us, I will murder you. In cold blood. I mean it. You will not ever see the light of day again. And I genuinely don't want to do that to you, because you're not a bad guy, you're just kind of a weird guy.
He's like, I gotta thank you, Arno.
You're welcome, bud. It'll wear off once I get out of range. So okay. I'm gonna head back. Seriously, don't come after us. If you give that guy a call, we might meet again. That'd be cool. I'm not saying no to that, but do not come after us violently. His voice is just not happy at all when he says it.
Okay.
Seriously, don't. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Oh yeah. And here on. Let me. He's gonna pull a piece of paper out of Van Halen's pocket. This is a really, really good ice cream place. You might want to go get some. You have money for that now. Have a good day. And then Bono's just gonna run off towards where the crater was.
Yeah. Bono, as you start running off, you almost bump into a kid as you turn around, and he's standing right here, kind of sitting on the edge of the street.
Oh. Hey, Alvin.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Hi. Long time no see.
Yeah. Sort of. I don't really know how long it's been. I
not that long, honestly.
Oh. Blue, get over here.
Wait.
Blue's gonna just float over. I know you can't see him. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how everything's going in there. I am kind of lost.
Okay. What street do you live on? Do you remember?
Yeah. Alvin says the address.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So,
Like, should we head over to the crater and make sure everyone else is okay?
If you'd be okay with that, absolutely. I'll help you get home. That's fine, but I do want to make sure everyone's alive.
I want to go to the crater.
Okay, come on with me then. We're going that way. And just wave goodbye to the creepy man frozen in the street. Bye.
I don't want to. Alvin just walks away with Bono.
Yeah. You both begin wandering off as meanwhile, across the way elsewhere, let's see. So, let me just grab 2-3 people really fast. Well, going along this way, kind of here. Let me drag some stuff, and then it'll be ready. Everything off here. Okay. Just a little bit ways away, out of the destroyed district, someone is running. Again, the surrounding districts have almost been evacuated out by security personnel, and she's managed to dodge a few, but mostly they seem to be sort of beginning to locate themselves or move around. There seems to have been some strange conflicts. She honestly has no idea what's going on. After all, everything up to this point was, well, a bit strange, but she got out. She won. And yet, halfway through the street, she feels stuck. That's a way to put it. She's stuck. Standing directly in the middle of the street, she's frozen almost. Stopped. Standing there. Something's wrong. She can't move. She felt like this before. Well, something close. Fear, standing solid still out of fear, not being able to move. It's almost a sensation like that, but it transcends beyond that. She's quite literally stuck, being held by something. She doesn't understand it, but it's still happening. And as she waits, almost confused, she does hear a voice ring from behind her, almost kind of echoing out, calling her name.
Well, well, well. Look who it is. The winner of the game. You see, you said you didn't understand much of that stand stuff, but allow me to explain it to you. You are under the effect of Year of the Cat right now. Quite a handy stand. Its range can extend up to 5 kilometers. And once it gets to you, it can hold you in place perfectly still. It's quite a powerful stand, although not very combat-oriented, but I don't suppose I will have to worry about that with you. Slowly stepping closer. You see, back in the game, you were the kind of person I assumed and saw with my own eye. Al catches himself and pokes a little at his bandage with my own eye. That you're the kind of person who will take advantage of every single possible situation that is presented to you. And right as of now, I can't let that slide. We're supposed to be dead, and you already know since we told you inside that we are wanted people. I'm pretty sure you were gonna go and tell some megacorps about the fact that we are still alive, and honestly, I just can't have that. Al lights another cigarette.
She's sitting there, almost frozen solid, but that's simply the nature of your stand. You know she can hear you, though.
Well, don't worry too much about it. Unlike most of those terrorists, I'm not the kind of guy to kill people. Instead, I'll do something else to you. You know, almost dying, I suppose, is quite an interesting experience. Leaves a mark in your soul. My stand changed because of that. I can feel it, even if just a little bit. I will reduce my learning from C to D.
Okay. What?
Year of the Cat.
Oh.
Counting stars. At this moment, Al's shadow, completely covering the street, retracts, with light only shining behind Al from a half-broken street lamp. A shadow is cast in this direction, 5 feet from Al, the exact range of this ability. Mostly, it is quite a useless ability. Its range is short, and it only allows you to gain some insight on people's thoughts. But it has a secret ability that is not what I wasted my points on. Al grabs Ava by the collar as she drops limp, completely unconscious. You'll have a nice drink for a while. And while you do that, he gently puts her on the ground, careful to not harm or bump into her into any way that could possibly wake her up. After all, this ability is quite fragile and could be disturbed with just a light impact. He puts his finger on her forehead, and a little shadow goes by. In the ground, a small orb of light amongst the shadow floats for a second and is engulfed and eaten by the shadow of the cat.
As you do that,
I activate my newest ability.
Ooh, I have an idea, by the way. As you do that, the light almost gets eaten up by the shadow, and you hear a voice kind of echo from behind you. My, what's that? Someone kind of seems to be leaning up against the wall and watching you from behind. Some new trick?
Well, yes. I call it the wolf.
Oh, the wolf, huh?
It is an interesting though limited ability I developed. You see, if I experience something with a person, and I know the beginning and the end of an event, I can then use my close ranged ability, counting stars, to put them to sleep, and then have Year of the Cat eat that memory. When she wakes up, she won't remember a thing about that man's party.
Oh.
It is difficult to use, and I believe my stand evolved, especially because of that situation. It is very fun. I hope I
She
can
kinda
get more
stops
use
a bit.
out of this.
She kind of stops a bit and like, well, it sounds like you're stealing stuff from my playbook. she kind of says,
Maybe.
hey, is that light still existent? Can you toss that my way?
I'll try.
You
I'll make a fucking.
kind of-
I'll try something. Yeah.
You if you try to basically produce out again that memory, that almost reflection from the dark, she kind of looks at it, and you can see her hand kind of go over it for a moment, and almost a flash, like a pulse of that almost colorless, definitionless world kind of pops out, and then it simply pops away, and you notice for a moment you see a stand, or you kind of just blink, and did you see that stand? Oh, wait. You know what this ability is. The ability
That
of this
ability
user.
always throws me for a loop.
She kind of pulls back her hand a bit. All right. That should help. It'd suck to go and have to do that to every single person, especially all the random personnel that seem to be running around the district. But this
Yeah.
should give you enough.
I just
free room
wanted to
leave.
Take her. Take her. Hello? Can you guys
Hello?
hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
Hello?
we can hear you, but you can't hear us, I don't think.
Are you there?
Ah. Ah. Oh, he might be dipping.
Science.
Ah, Discord froze. Okay.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Old lady just chilling. They're just chilling. We'll chill
Yeah,
here. There's no
you
personnel
see,
in the district.
Congress Discord is under the effects of Year of the Cat, and thus
No.
frozen and cannot move.
And they're like, no, it's cool. Take your time. That's fine.
Take your time. Oh wait, old lady put her hand over the thing and her ability activated. Angra's Discord has forgotten the existence of Carbon Interface. It's been eliminated by Twilight Zone.
Oh.
Unfortunate. Indeed. Hey, Gannon, excellent double up scene, by the way. I loved those two so much.
Thanks. I love the dichotomy of playing those two, but switching gears like that is sometimes a little too much for me.
Yeah, fair. You got plenty of time to reorientate yourself this time,
Jimmy?
though, but I enjoyed it. Hello, Angra?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
can you hear us?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
Al zones out for a split second. I just wanted to personally take away her sense of victory from that situation. I am, in fact, quite a petty man.
Well, I can't share that one. She kind of gets up a bit. You gonna keep with them? After all, you called them violent terrorists just a second ago, huh?
There's something about them. I want to dig a little bit deeper. I mean, if all the corporations are going so far as to band together a group of terrorists, there's gotta be a little more to that than just terrorists. You don't see megacorps banding together just to get rid of your ordinary run-of-the-mill terrorists, even if they are Sten users. I'm sure countless other Sten user terrorists have stepped onto the same grounds we are treading right now, and they didn't have to come together to get rid of them.
Of course, of course. In fact, as I view it, most of the time when anyone starts acting up like that, they all get picked up by corpse anyways. She kind of steps up. Well then, Mr. She kind of looks over.
Al.
I already know that, but I wanted to hear it myself. I'm out. She kind of steps forward and just kind of stops. After all, I am someone who, much like her, she kind of gestures to the sleeping person on the floor, do like taking my circumstances and moving wherever the money flows, but even I have a sense of pride, and I don't very much like being killed. So I think I'm going to
That's a good
skip
one.
town while no heat's on me. I have some debts anyways. She kind of stops. But I did want to thank both of you, all of you, for helping take someone like me out. Not much you find anyone with a sense of honor in J City. I certainly don't have it, but I have something of my own. She kind of stops and reaches in her coat. I have respect. She kind of reaches in her pack and she pulls something out. It's a pack of cigarettes. Now this is something you might very much like. This isn't a brand that exists anymore. In fact, a corporation hired me at one point to wipe out any existence of this sort of brand. It's got real nicotine in it.
Al perks up. Just,
Yes, she kind of passes it over.
much appreciated.
Consider it a bribe. I'm on my way out.
It almost feels that, just like me. You
Mm?
do. Although I wouldn't call it a good set of morals, you do like a bit big wad of cash, and you're at least not stupid enough to die for it. Unlike a certain detective that is talking to you right now.
Well, it's your funeral, friend. She nods her head and just kind of begins walking off. This would be the last time you ever saw Jop.
Yeah. Al watches her leave, then he scoots over here, kicks her in the face, and runs.
When Ava comes to, she just like comes to, realizing, sits up, looks, grabs onto her face. Oh, did I get drunk again? And
incredibly petty, man. Incredibly petty, man.
I hold my stand just to be petty at you. Fuck you. I hate you.
I love that. The takeaway from that is, oh, I got drunk again. Oh well.
Oh, awful.
But yeah, explaining the rules of the wolf a little bit more clearly than I could in game. For it to be able to be activated, Al needs to know the starting point of a memory and the end. In this case, he erased everything from the start of Deadman's party until she got out. So, until he just met her again in the alley. So that's the beginning point and the end point.
Ah, nice. That's fun.
As a secondary effect, it's not necessary, but it does make it more reliable because this needs a roll. It only worked this time because it's the thing that if you evolve, you get a freebie. To make the roll easier, Al can be there when those things happen. That will make the roll much easier. Otherwise, it is a pretty difficult roll that we are yet to figure out.
You have to really, but the thing is, that comes after the session because you burned the learning for it, so it just worked. So that's fine.
Yeah. And counting stars always had the ability to put people to sleep. And maybe we'll get to see more of that later. But it's a fun stand.
I'm so excited for people to see what Counting Stars dreams look like. But anyways, I thank you for explaining. That gave me enough time to prep the next scene. Hey, Burn and James, you both want to have a scene together?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Sure. Okay. This is good. I can establish something. Burn.
Yes.
Or I should say Joaquin.
Yes.
You're kind of frantically looking around a bit. As you run across, you walk up into a crater. And you're looking around, and finally, you think you find him. You were so concerned. After all, there's something you do remember. He needs it. He needs it so bad. He needs a way to breathe. As you run down, and you see him. He's
He's under the fucking
kinda
wiener
like-
cart again.
No, in fact, he's leaning over the edge of the wiener cart, contemplating. So he looks over at the inside of the empty place, the destroyed place.
Oh, jeez.
Huh.
Okay. You're okay? You're fine? Here, I'll try and we need to
mean,
figure.
I'm kind of hungry, but
Hey,
yeah, there's nothing in there. Johan points, and the whole cart is like empty. There is a single hot dog that he picks up and watches as it dissolves into ash in his hand. Aw,
But
I'm really hungry. I want to eat.
you
How
can
about
breathe.
you? Oh wait, oh right, you can't eat. Fuck. Oh wait, you don't need to eat, right? Oh, does Grandma need to eat?
I don't know. I'm
Well, have you
concerned
asked her?
about. You can breathe?
Johan blinks. Christian, can he breathe?
you suddenly realize, oh shit, Johan, you can breathe.
Oh, I can breathe.
Oh, thank God.
He's gonna,
He's gonna just hug you.
Johan
Oh,
kind of
this way.
freezes up but hugs him back. Yeah, it's okay, Grandpa. Alright. Glad you and Grandma got out. Holy shit.
Yeah. Although, I do feel kind of weird now.
No, how so?
I don't know. I can't.
Are you hungry?
I am.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, well, they're not gonna find anything here.
Yeah, maybe we should go and try and find some food.
Yeah, honestly, you feeling okay?
No. Am I thirsty?
Are you?
Thirsty, hungry. Mmm.
Why is my
Hakeem.
neck sore?
Oh,
Ah!
Hakeem, when's the last time you fed?
Probably before he died.
Yeah, so right now you're just like, oh man. You kind of think and you look at Johan and you're like, for a split second you're like, oh no, I need to drink blood, don't I? That's what runs to your head.
Oh no.
Johan kind of gonna look at Grandpa. Why are you looking at me like that?
He's gonna go and
The Gramps.
listen.
No.
Maybe we need to find somebody. We need to find somebody that I can feed
Okay.
on.
Yeah, don't look at me like Johan's gonna like pet himself like he's
No, it's
like
okay.
he's
I won't.
like he's looking for his wallet. Can he tell if the drive is back in him or not?
Well, there is one way to figure out. You can try to channel Hamon energy. And if it's weaker than it is used to be, then yes, it's gone. But if it's stronger, then yes, it's in there.
Johan is going to assume a 1-inch punch pose and try to
Hakeem.
Hamon punch the shit out of the hot dog stand.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Oh God.
Hamon punch the hot dog stand.
Oh.
And Wakib just barrels back as you punch it, and Hamon energy sparks and flies through the air. And you certainly leave like a dent, I guess. But you know, that's not super good. In fact, as you kind of feel around your chest, Johan, you think you can breathe.
Okay, I can breathe. That's not as strong as it used to be, which is kind of concerning, but I can breathe. I'm not entirely sure how I can breathe, if I'm gonna be honest, Gramps, but I can say it's a good thing you didn't bite me, otherwise you would have gotten... He just like wiggle fingers at
yeah,
the
I
vent
don't-
neck
I
on
just-
you, and I don't know
Yeah.
how that would have gone.
I don't want to think about how that would have gone, but you know, you've given me an idea. Maybe
Oh.
I'll try and see if I can do my stuff still. He's gonna try and grow claws.
You try to grow
Grow
claws, and you focus, and you're like, I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah, man. Also,
I want to
where
do this.
I can't hear my wife. Why?
Oh, what?
Actually, Wakeem,
Mm-hmm.
you think you do hear her?
Really?
Yeah, a voice is ringing out and it says, "Hello?
Hello?
Joaquin? Oh,
Hello?
good. You can hear me again. I was worried. After all, me stepping out on my own was certainly a big concern, but okay. Do you want to see Johan? I think I see him.
Yeah. What? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I
hear
see.
some
He's
footsteps.
standing right here.
Yes, because I'm. And she
Johan
stops.
blinks. Oh. Can I see
Joaquin!
that?
Yeah, you can see that too.
Is he-
Joaquin!
Is he?
Just realized you can breathe too.
I sure can.
You look and again, something plays out again as, without really questioning anything, looking again, she immediately leaps over on you, knocking you straight on back into the cart itself as she gives you another big hug. Johan, you stare across for a moment and blink. This is how it was in the game, but... And then you notice that Izzy looks up, crying a bit. Come on, come in here, grandson.
Come on.
Great, come on.
Johan kind of tears up a little bit and gets in the hug pile slowly.
She kind of rips them over here so that you all sort of stand there, and then squeezes both of you in her arms.
Okay, Grandma, you're really buff. Holy shit.
I've missed this.
And
I don't know what
standing,
this is, but I love it.
standing over here, the effects of Heartbreak Hotel Requiem. The exaggerated ability of being able to fully restore a dead man's body to its natural state, reforming the soul to its original form. That ability, which could activate on one person who's long thought himself dead, is also able to activate on two who thought themselves combined, activating on one who lost a part of himself. Restored to a status quo, per se, of what they originally wanted. No longer an experiment fused together by a corporation, an unliving being. The soul has regained its original form for both of them. And, in a way, Johan, your very soul itself is also reformed, your lung returning. However, none of the three of them, at all, realize that's what's going on. But they also don't really care too much. Try to take off your eye patch.
Johan lifts it, wipes a tear. Is this back?
Well, your
But-
eye's there.
Though a
It's
soul
always
can be
been there.
reformed, though a body can be reformed to a soul, a wound against the soul is eternal.
Ah,
That eye doesn't seem to function. Which only confuses the matters more, everyone around there. You have no idea what's going on now.
DSL
Yeah.
dial-up noise. Wait a minute. Hold on. How did this? Let's work this back.
Okay, we can figure this out
Find some
together.
food. I'm very hungry. It feels
I am
like
very
haven't eaten
hungry
in about
too.
100 years. Maybe more than 100 years. Maybe 200 years.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. Let's get some
It's been
pancakes.
a very long time. Let's get some pancakes. Johan, where are the best pancakes in the city?
Johan kind of looks around the crater. Not here. Yeah, no, definitely not
Oh.
here.
Well, of course not. Do they still have steaky shakes?
Do you mean where they put the steak in the shake?
They do that now?
Do they do
That's
Oh, they
that?
definitely do
gross.
that now.
Oh, that
that
sounds.
taste
Well, I mean, have you ever had have you ever had like bacon milkshakes?
Yes,
I don't...
once
she kind of looks over surprised.
at a Denny's at 3 a.m.
You've been gone a while, Grandma.
I see. Well, I suppose it's time.
Yeah. Let's
The
go.
future is very strange, but let's go.
Do you want to carry us?
She kind of tries to lift both of you up. No, you're both actually rather tall and heavy.
Okay.
She got a stepped bad. Very strong. I'm proud of both of you.
Johan pinches his
But
like hips.
What?
Oh man,
She kinda- she's kind of like half crouching over. Her hands are kind of raised. She's shaking. Can I hold both of your hands?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent. She kind of reaches forward and turns around, her hands stretching out as she holds on and links with both of yours, and she smiles, beaming, as she leaves the two of you, out.
Mm-hmm.
And Yes, that's where we leave this scene, is you all regroup with the others. Now, is there anyone else who wants to talk to anyone else?
Are we gonna meet back up as a group? Is that gonna happen? Or are we all wandering
So,
aimlessly?
however, since
I
you all
guarantee
will
you that
meet
now I
together.
can find everyone.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You all will at some point meet together, but we don't have everyone here today, and I want to make sure that when you guys are moving as a group, that's all a thing together. But even despite that, you all have found your way out, and many good things are yet to come as you've managed to regain some of that hope again. And as you do that, one more look as, hey, Brennan,
Yes.
you find your way out to an old, well, kind of like, it's kind of run down. It's a place that, let me just go drop you off there. It's that place you woke up the second time. That bar almost abandoned. You kind of find your way back over there as you sort of like move around trying to find everyone after that. But you don't simply go alone. You are accompanied by one other person as you kind of stumble on into that bar. Let me just pop you down.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, he kind of looked around with you, trying to find your friends for the most part. Hard to really find mostly anyone. And at a certain point, he kind of sits back against this bar stool, which almost cracks under his weight. And one of the legs is broken, but he almost kind of balances on it. Kind of like how a kid would lean on their chair during dinner, or how I still do that. You kind of look across the room as he almost sits and waits. And as a sort of silence falls across, he turns around. Maybe they already, walked off. They could have tried to leave the district. I'm sure they're looking.
No use worrying about it. I
Yeah.
have pretty good faith that everybody's all right.
Yeah. He kind of stops a bit. Well, I'll escort you to them at least, for sure. Don't know what comes after that.
I mean, you don't have to do all that. You've been locked away for how long?
He kind of thinks about that a bit. I lost track of the days. Been at least a couple of years. What year is it again? It's 22, 24, right? He kind of thinks, oh god, yeah, I think at least 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
10 years in a prison, and the first thing you want to do is escort somebody to go do something that they can already do?
He kind of stops. I mean, yeah, what else am I gonna do? I mean, he kind of like stops. I don't really. He kind of leans back a bit. Hell, I mean, the first thing I want to do is maybe eat some good food, take a drink, something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should go to Steaky Shake.
Is that around?
Yeah, you know that. Well, not here, but you know they put the steak in the shake.
That sounds great. He kind of stops a bit. Yeah, but he kind of thinks, maybe something that's not party food. Like, I've eaten so much damn cake over the last 10 years, I'm sick of it.
10 years of cake, yeah. 10 years of a good thing.
God, I'd go
Would
for
make it a bad
broccoli
thing.
At this point. Vegetables, something no one brings to a party. I don't really care about any sort of festivities. Fuck that. Like, what? I've been dealing with that for so long, at least the image. If I see another party streamer, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
So,
I guess it's a good thing that you were dead, because you'd have diabetes.
Yeah. He kind of like, he thinks about that. I mean, hell, I've been spending 10 years just watching people go off and not be able to do anything about it. So yeah, I think I do want to help someone, even if it's kind of pointless.
Cool. I can respect that.
He kind of nods his head and thinks a bit. And then he kind of stops, and then, hey, you, I know it happened a bit back, but, you all know my friends, huh? Mary specifically?
Her expression kind of shifts a little bit. Yeah, you know her a little bit too well.
Oh. Well, you didn't seem to like her.
I
He
guess
kind
the
of
real
thinks of it.
question is, did you really know her?
He kind of sits a bit. Yeah, of course. She was one of my best friends.
And was she always the kind of woman that would force a teenager to eat her own dog?
He kind of looks across at you. No, absolutely not.
Ah, so I guess I know her a little better then.
Oh.
She's been kind of like this entire time that they've been searching, she's been playing it pretty cool. Like she's been walking around with her hands in her pocket like she's a cool badass adult.
Yeah. He kind of stops and just kind of runs that through his head a bit of a silence falling over, and he's just like, what's she doing now?
Well, last I checked, actually we just saw her before all this went down. She impaled my friend Chuckle while pretending to be my other friend Rain, and she disappeared with my actual friend Rain, I think. I need to find her too. You kind of see the weight on her shoulders as she realizes, like, oh yeah, I just had a really cool day, but I still have a lot of problems.
He kind of pops up a little bit, and he's just kind of like, she's really giving you troubles, huh?
Yeah, nothing I can't fix, apparently.
Do you know what happened to the others? Is there any people with her that are like... He kind of stops and thinks a little bit. Is she alone?
Every time I've seen her.
He kind of like trails off a little bit. All right then. He kind of looks at you. He said, you just turned 18, huh?
Yep, died on my birthday.
God, I'm so sorry.
Well, you didn't kill me. Mary did.
He kind of puts his hands up to his head, just like, every time you say that, it feels like a knife. But I shouldn't shy away from it if that's what's going on.
I think you'll find that things have changed in 10 years.
Yeah, guess so. He kind of stands up again. He moves over, and he kind of like moves over and kind of gives you a bit of an awkward pat on the shoulder, as he's just like, if... No, that's not right. He kind of steps back. Come on, man. He kind of moves over and he kind of slams his head against the table a bit. You gotta make promises. You gotta have energy. You can't just... He kind of mumbles to himself a bit. And then he stands up, and you notice a bit of like... He almost pulls his shoulders up a bit, turns around, and kind of moves up. And he kind of shoots you a smile, even though his eyes still look tired. As he's just like... He puts a reassuring hand on your shoulder. Okay, Presley. If my friends are causing you problems, especially a good person like you would even put your life on the line for people like me and all of them, then I won't be going away so quick. I'll give you a hand. However I can.
She's kind of shocked by that for a second. And she has to consider, she's like, you really liked her, didn't you?
You notice that through his smile, he's kind of tearing up a little bit. Goddamn most favorite person in the world. Her, Ruth, and Janko. 4 of us were like a squad. I love him to death. And it pains me to hear that this is happening.
Every time I look at her, I see her with such tunnel vision. I can't imagine that anyone, anything, loves that person.
Well, I can't imagine anyone who couldn't. So, I guess we're both a little mixed up. Though, he kind of stops. And he frowns a little bit. 10 years can change a lot. I remember it. We all did make a promise so many years ago. Once we all decided to go down this path, the path of corporate ladders and all that nonsense, we did make a promise that if any of us started going off that stray way, we'd stop us from becoming monsters. I wasn't there to stop that from happening. I was dead. So, I gotta take responsibility, don't I?
Well, if that's what you want to do with your second chance, I can't stop you.
It's what second chances are made for, right?
Yeah. Actually, if it makes you feel any better about Mary, your friend. If I had a group of friends like the group of friends I have now and I lost them all and thought I was never going to see them again, I might end up a piece of garbage too.
He kind of releases a breath. Nah. No, I think... I'm obviously a bad judge of character, but you know what? I think you do great. Let's prove that, huh?
You want to get rid of all my friends?
No. He kind of puts up his hands. No, we're gonna find them. We're gonna find them, and we're gonna go make things right, okay? He puts up a thumbs up. That's a promise from Danny to you.
Yeah, and my promise is that I'm going to make sure your promise to her gets fulfilled.
He nods his head. All right, then. He stops, and then you notice a bit of a confused expression crawls over his face. I wish I knew where to go from here. I have no idea where anyone is.
Nah, I'm pretty bad with directions, and my phone got exploded in the explosion.
I mean, have you checked again? I mean, I know it wasn't there when you woke up last time, but maybe you could try again.
My phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll check Gang's pockets.
You check Gang's pockets and you find, of course, it's in there. It was restored. Heartbreak Hotel Requiem. It did a great service to you. And then you realize, I can't use this anyways. Touch will immediately figure out that where you are.
No! It's useless.
Awesome, you got your phone. You can use it now, right?
Nope, can't use it.
Oh.
I'll get traced and then killed.
Oh. Well,
she turned my friend's sister into a stand that will do that.
Oh, he kind of puts his hands over his face again. I'm gonna need to sit down a little longer. He kind of moves over. Can you just catch me up? I don't want any more surprises.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. And you sit down and console a 10-year dead man on how deplorable and evil his best friend has become.
Your friend is awful.
Unlike my friend, I need to find her. Oh, excellent. At a point down the line, you all regroup. All of you will sort of find yourself together and be able to interact again. Chuckle actually regroups back up together with Pinocchio P, and she offers a slight little refuge away from the dangers, just for a little bit, while everything around this district is sort of going underground. She promises she's got a place that nobody will find. And from there, the day kind of passes on, and I'm going to call a real quick, 5-10 minute break to grab some water and refresh, and then we'll be moving on to the next chunk of the session.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Get some water.
Get some
Yeah.
water.
Danny gonna Moomin Rider all this.
Yeah.
Thanks, Moomin Rider.
No
He rides
problem.
off on his bicycle.
Yeah, Daddy, what are you gonna do? Normal
I have
man.
successfully updated my character sheet.
I need to remake a character.
Yeah.
Cause
I'll be back.
when Christian offered, they could be separated. Oh yeah, they could also be human. I was like, yes, let's fucking do this.
Yeah, boy.
It's just
I just want to say, chat. I just want to say, Year of the Cat currently has 3 abilities. I have D in learning. I can get up to 4 again, baby.
Poog.
Poogers.
Poogers.
Pugars.
Oh man, what a petty fuck Al is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Man, DVNO is such a fucking S tier character. Holy shit.
Yo.
Everyone is an S tier character. Fuck, I love those scenes so much. Every single one of them.
Are you making fun of my noises, James?
Maybe.
I'm just hyping shit up, dude. What are you doing? Breathing?
Yeah. Attack him in the face. Do it.
Shut up, Aloha. Go post some links.
Yeah. wait. I already posted some links. Why don't you go get the whoppers, Brennan?
Go plug the Patreon.
I will on Tuesday on my designated cheat day.
You said Monday last time.
Yeah, I know. It'll be too late after work.
Go plug the Patreon's Patreon plugger.
He already did. Maybe if you paid attention.
Yeah, dude.
Well, you see,
Maybe if you loved me.
I have but one. Well, maybe if you got over here, I could hug you.
Okay.
Yeah, get over here.
It's not gay to hug a homie.
Yeah, no, it
Virus,
absolutely
guys.
is not.
The virus.
Guys, remember, hug your homies
Hug your homies at a
Hug
safe
your
distance.
at a safe distance.
After you wash your hands and get tested.
But choke
Yeah.
your Alohis.
Dude.
I don't.
Lokis. Jesus.
What is wrong, Johan-kun? Are you mayhaps
I was-
craving my?
I
God, wow! My brain
crush you,
saved-
James.
My brain saved me from forgetting what that word was.
Brennan, I was thinking last night. I was like, I need
You
to
were
learn
thinking about
martial
me?
arts. Yeah, I was. I was like, I need to learn martial arts so when Brennan comes at me, I can do something about it. And then I was like, maybe I should learn judo. And then I remember you'd probably be shirtless while doing it. And then I was like, well, fuck, that's kind of useless.
I would, as soon as I saw you, I'd take off my shirt and attack.
Like a Yakuza
Yeah.
fight.
Maybe.
The back tat.
I'd reveal my tattoos.
Yeah. Maybe you should learn this very special secret technique called the Nico Ni.
No,
sounds-
if anybody else learned it, then we could create a black
Contrary
hole.
to popular belief, it is in fact an
It just
elbow
clashes
drop.
and creates a danger situation.
Sounds
just
like
like
a boomer.
Exactly. Sounds like a boomer move. Get the fuck
Sounds
out
like
of
a
here.
boomer.
No, that's the boomerang.
I'm gonna send you that choking gif again. Every time.
do you
every
have that?
time-
Why is that
Every
something
time
you
Aloha
have?
calls me a boomer, I send him the gif of Ritsuko's mom from Evangelion choking the little baby Ray.
Oh my god.
That's fucked up.
But
That's fine,
accurate.
Old hag.
I'm like Bart, and you're like Homer.
You little.
You're the Homer.
So that means that Aloha's gonna hit Jibo with the chair over the head while he's taking
Yeah.
a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
future is power, man.
I'll take your Nico kneecaps.
Why
Man.
did you hack that body to pieces? Because hacking never fails. Oh, you bastard!
You son of a bitch.
You mother! I mean,
Points at analog microwave.
Can we just?
That's it, Aloha. Just bring an analog microwave to the bout.
Can we just take a moment from fanning this this fire to reflect on how genuinely disgusting putting a full steak in a shake sounds?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'd do
Oh
it.
yeah, dude.
imagine if you don't even like shave the fat.
That's
off
such an
of it,
American thing to do. You guys.
I can
are
imagine it
disgusting.
though, like
I
a
can see
savory
it.
shake.
I
You
can
know what?
see it
You can
if it
probably
isn't.
get that.
If it
Yeah,
isn't
sure.
like
Bacon beer?
guys.
Yeah, well, that's different.
Guys, I can
Yeah.
see it if the cubes are very tiny.
Mm.
Like less than a quarter-inch, like
Or you
almost
get a chicken
julienne your
straw.
steak. And
You want-
I'm thinking more like
and-
you make a
Beer
broth. You
I-
make like a steak broth.
oh, that would work too. Hell yeah,
so you're
that would be
basically
perfect.
just drinking a thick soup
Oh,
or a
oh,
stew.
so steak broth,
Yeah, that's
but
called a
with
stew.
with boba pearls
Ew. Ooh, ugh.
for the
Don't be trying to make me
texture.
unhappy. I'm already unhappy enough. Don't do this to me.
Steak
I'm
boba.
leaving.
Yeah.
Good night.
Gravy.
Steak boba.
Uh,
Oh my god, he actually left. Oh no.
you see,
Oh.
it's called a stoba.
I was about to say that. I was about to say
A
stuba.
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 That's just
It's
awful.
served
Man,
in
I
a
think I
tuba.
played. Man, I think I
Wait,
played that in
would
high
be
school.
that would be steak and booba, not boba.
can't believe
I was, dude. When you said boba, my brain was like booba.
I can't
Booba.
believe he just left. He
I
just
think
did it.
I think I played that in college.
Booba?
No, it's stuba.
Ah. No, I think you're thinking of trombone.
Yeah, I know. On it, rookie's mistake, honestly.
Yeah.
Can you
Is that what
imagine?
the localized name of it is called, by the way?
The localized name.
Cookies
Aw,
and
man.
cream but meat? Ugh.
Ooh.
Why are we doing this?
I'm
Why are we
reading
talking about
chat.
this?
I'm reading chat.
Chat, why are you contributing to this? Why do you want this? Why are you advocates for this?
I mean, every time you get a large group of people, it inevitably goes to chaos, and chat is just
It's
the
true.
amalgamation of chaos energy.
Yeah.
Look,
But like
people who have thoughts like these are innovators, and they're the reason the society goes where they go.
I-
okay.
Did you just say society?
Society?
Unlike
Society?
the Snyder Cut.
Wait, you live in a society?
Nós vivemos em uma sociedade?
oh
Yeah.
god,
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
just going. What's happening?
He's speaking the language of angels.
Go to
Yo
Brazil.
quero.
Yeah. What? What?
Wait, what?
What
What
is
is
happening?
What is happening, Jibo?
Just say society.
Oh,
God.
I forgot about this. Oh,
Chivo, are you feeling
Cool.
Stop.
right now?
why?
In
The
society.
fucking clown music, though.
We live in a society.
Oh my god, please. Please.
You see,
Hey,
nothing new is happening. The clown
Hey,
music
guys.
always
Hey, Christian.
talks to me.
Hey guys, what's going on in here?
You don't want to
Society.
know.
We've devolved. We've devolved
going
since you
to-
left.
Oh,
My
well,
yin yang necklace just broken. This is a bad sign. I'm sorry.
See,
Metal.
apparently, if you
I'm
mash
really
B
sorry.
hard, if you mash B hard enough, you evolve. You don't not only cancel the evolution, but you go back.
You go back.
You reverse
Go
to
back. I want to go back to monkey.
go back. I want to be egg.
Monkey.
okay, gang.
Project
So,
modernity.
It's
J-Poker.
everyone
TI, everyone.
Guys,
I can't believe
please,
this devolved because of a steak shake.
please,
I don't-
let's get back on
Has,
track. Christian is
has
back.
has everyone gotten a chance to go and take a break and all that stuff?
well, I've been revolted by what's been talked about, but I'm fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. You don't need to be comfortable. You just need to be well, like hydrated. You know.
Hydration is the name of the game.
But have no pee.
Carbon hydration.
You know,
What about the smell of the game?
give me 1 minute.
Okay, take 1 minute and be on back.
Hydro interface.
Hydro interface.
Ocean Man is the protagonist for a reason.
It's not Johan. It's Ocean.
No, it's Ocean Man.
Ocean Man's the true pro tag. We've been waiting for
When
the
we all die and CI fades away into forgetfulness, just the only thing people will remember is Ocean Man because
Hey guys,
Ocean Man is the protect.
guys, do you know what it is in every TTRPG on this channel and otherwise?
Hot
What?
dog stand?
Water.
Oh.
Ooh,
Hot dog water.
ooh, you're
Hot
right.
dog water!
Ocean Man is in
Mm.
every single TTRPG that features water. You can
James,
understand. He's
I'm
always
going
there.
to make it my sole mission to have a hot dog stand in every single game you're in.
And I will make it my personal mission to destroy every single hot dog stand.
I thought you were gonna say it was gonna be your mission to get crashed under the hot dog stands. My
I'm
personal
gonna-
goal. I want you to hit me with that hot dog stand.
if we ever do like a comedy series, right? I'm gonna make it my mission to make like a big beefy character that's just doing reps with a hot dog stand.
I thought you were gonna say a big beefy hot dog.
Well, I mean, that too.
Okay,
I
Bryn's
actually
back.
leave?
Everyone ready to go?
No,
go.
you can't leave. You're
Yeah.
here.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So let me just transition my mindset. Get on ready. Get everything going. I actually need to set up one more thing. So well, before we kind of get back going, Stallcast.
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 Is that what
I
you
thought that
want?
was what we were doing already.
That's what we were doing
Yeah.
already. Just keep going,
Oh.
basically.
It's going
Oh,
again.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no.
Please stop this. I want to get up.
You wanted to stall the stream, Christian.
I went off Jibo's wild ride.
But you bought a ticket to the carnival. There is no escape from this wild ride.
Jibo,
Oh, God.
Jibo, will you take me on the Ferris wheel?
Ooh, we'll go on a Ferris wheel, all right. A Ferris wheel of death.
That's kind of neat. The one of life was actually kind of boring. Not gonna lie. I think they should really just take that one down.
Or perhaps we could go down the tunnel of love.
Eh,
Flex the mood.
I mean, I don't know.
Isn't
no.
like the Ferris wheel of death just the Gravitron?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Jibo. I don't think you've built up enough. I don't think you've worked hard enough to earn the tunnel of love for me. I'm gonna be honest.
I will increase our social link until you go down the swan boat with me.
You know, as sexy as giving me a fish was the first time, it's kind
I would
of.
like to win you a teddy bear.
Oh, well, I
I
mean,
am
with
completely
Jibo-
disassociating right now.
Oh,
I'm-
with
I'm-
Jibo, I've already got the biggest teddy bear right here.
Me?
No,
I
Jibo.
cannot
No,
believe-
Jibo. His name is Frank. I think we should see other people. I'm leaving.
I'm stuck in this
Wait,
hell,
for real?
and I can't escape.
I knew it was coming.
Wait, for real?
Wait, like, for real? Okay.
For real?
Okay. For real? Okay, gang.
Oh, God.
Did I do
No,
a
then.
stall, Christian?
You did a stall. Thank you so much for your stall.
Oh.
Now that we've stalled a little bit, I can.
Distant clown music.
All right. Hope you're all ready. I'm glad your tone's broken. We're going on to the next final stage of this arc of CI.
Oh, God, I have no idea what's even happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get to sit back and relax.
Not Ganon.
Oh,
Ganon,
no,
what can I
okay.
say? Deviano, you
Mm-hmm.
are chilling at your house. And you know what? We'll let you ease in on this. I won't immediately throw you into a call. You're just chilling on your couch a bit after a busy day. And fuck, it's been a busy day.
Let's just real quickly put one of those down just in
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Woo, okay.
Mhm.
Gonna pour myself a tasty beverage. Gonna then down the bottle instead of the glass.
Yeah, you gotta be a little under control. Can't just drink it all.
Exactly. You understand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ooh, I'm gonna get up.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna walk over to my reserve.
Yeah.
I know I'm skipping beats there. He's skipping for joy. He's gonna grab another bottle, down it.
Okay, you down 2 bottles.
Gonna just real quickly. Give me a second to type that one out.
Okay, sure thing. In that case, while you're typing, let me just describe a little bit of the mood right now for you. Because, Deviano, you've been operating for the past few days in a liberated sense. The Tagmions are gone. Though they were a charming group. They're gone for good now. Though you wonder if a bit could be salvaged at the very least. Your teams are scouring. Maybe one got away, but such thing is hopeful thinking in a world like this. Regardless, there should not be one thing that is simply assumed. All matters until proven wrong should be suspected. And as you sort of contemplate on things, you kind of are spent just looking out into the lights of the city below. Many lights and advertisements that kind of seem to shine in through this apartment building. And you sort of just... what's on your mind right now as you contemplate the plans of the city?
So much is happening. Oh, God. All right. Okay. Put on your game face. Let's go. And then he's gonna grab another bottle just in case. Gonna walk that over, set it down in his comfy chair. I cannot sit down in his comfy chair. Set the bottle down. He's gonna take that glass, drink it, bottle uncork, pull out the phone, and dial Johannesburg.
All right, you're forwarded straight to Avix HQ in Johannesburg. As the line goes and the secretary answers, yes, hello?
Hey, put me on for Joe.
Mr. Brando, of course. It'll be a moment. You're held on the line for a bit as they go and fetch, and you're sort of sitting there.
I shouldn't be on a fucking line. I'm DVNO, goddamn Brando.
This is the disrespect afforded to those who are CIO. Though, really, you imagine this is directly the line. In fact, in those moments of listening, you could swear that you heard the sounds of wind blowing. This is the direct line to your boss, Joe. But, unfortunately, it seems you caught him at a time when he's, out hunting.
Big game, I see.
Big game. You kind of chuckle to yourself at that. Oh, Shaw's never hunted big game in his life. You can smell it on him.
He's gonna have a hard time in that, DVNO just starts laughing to himself after downing 2 whole bottles of something.
Yeah. You wait for a little bit.
Oh, then... come on. I know you can do this, man. Just kill the thing.
And then, after about a couple more minutes, the phone line picks back up as a voice sort of echoes across from the other side. Hello?
Joe, my man.
Oh, DVNO.
Oh, don't act like you didn't know. You brought me into this company. You know who's calling. Listen, Shaw went exactly for it. Hook, line, and sinker. He's probably gonna come try and get you. As we agreed, I'm sure you can handle Shaw. But
he kind of thinks about it. Shaw won't be a problem.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
Exactly. He's hooked on. His ego won't let him reject the offer I put out. Of course, I know he doesn't trust me, so we'll see how far it goes, but you'll have Milli Vanilli within the next week, I'm willing to bet.
I see. You're picking up on something. Your boss seems he sounds a little down. He's usually very boisterous. What's going on with him?
Joe?
Oh.
What's got you down there, boss, man? You got, having trouble out on the game field today?
Absolutely not. The wolves don't run much here. He kind of, sits a bit. They're a big pack, but they don't put up much of a fight. Even dismiss the rest of them, and still nothing. He kind of my hunting entourage is making it too easy. The wolves ferocious in J City.
J City. Wolves maybe not, but there's plenty of ferocious things. Maybe you'll get to come out and see, huh?
Maybe. He kind of yells across. Hey! Get my car around! And he kind of goes back. All right then, DVNO. You've got a mighty game going on in J City, and I'm quite curious how it's playing out. Sounds like you've got a merger for me, a wonderful proposition. Though I wonder... He kind of thinks about that. These hunting fields are a little too small nowadays to hold any big games. Large beasts of prey are rather hard to find. They just love claiming so much, as much as they can reach. It's why they're kings of the wild, you know? A lion can't share with a wolf. And he's kind of like, I feel like we're getting a little too big, don't you agree?
Are we at that stage of our relationship? Ugh.
He kind of like, I would hope not. You've been a wonderful addition, though. Tell me, Divino, you don't wish to make a play to increase Avex's size. You know that would simply be challenging me to a competition. What do you really want? You looking for your old home back?
Of course I am, Joe. But I wanted to give you something nice before I tender that resignation. I appreciate everything you did for me, bringing me into the company. It's... A lot of people saw a rabid dog. You saw something more. I see fit to reward somebody who treats me as well as you did. That's
He
all.
kind of he kind of waits a bit. Of course. Anyone who saw you as a rabid dog would be a confused moron. You're far too clever. Far too cunning. A rabid dog simply strikes at anything that walks it by. It believes itself invincible. A wolf is smart enough to hunt in packs. A lion simply hunts all that is before it, for it is the top of the chain. And in that way, you are a lion, Divino. And I see that you've been growing back to health.
Yes.
I do not spare these words commonly, but I would say I'm quite proud of you and what you've done.
Thank you, Joe. I must say, making this bid is kind of strange. I thought it would be different. But I'm going to get back what's mine. You taught me exactly what I need to know. Like you said, I'm a lion. We can have our own savannas, don't you think?
I believe so. And I hope you enjoy yours over the sea. Perhaps I will come and take a visit. It sounds like this whole affair is rather... well, it's spilling out. I've heard the top 4 talking about it, even.
Oh, already?
Already. Do not worry. I won't get in the way. After all, I sort of want to see myself. I want to see how much of your savannah you can tame, Divino Brando.
I'm sure we'll both be pleasantly surprised.
Of course. Tell me, though, how has Mary fared in the certain situations? How's our rival doing? Are they falling apart at the seams, or have they shown to be a competitor against you?
Oh, they're a competitor. You and I both know. Biggest game there is in J City. You taught me well.
He kind of thinks that. Divino, you think you hear something ever so briefly. Sounds like, sounds like gunfire. That's it.
Oh, always time for a party. Joe, I'm gonna have to let you go. It seems I have an unscheduled appointment.
It sounds like it. I could hear over the phone.
Do come to J City, though. I would love to have you for dinner before we're competitors once more.
Of course. If you make it, I'll have you know, my compliments carry a mighty burden. No one ever lives up to them. And he hangs up.
Divino's going to look at the bottle he had, drink a little bit more, and then stand up and look out the window.
You look out the window as you kind of stare over at the scenery beneath you. And as you do that, you hear a door kind of burst open. And you see a form shadowy kind of step on through. But regardless, it sort of makes itself apparent. Almost shoved in the midst, she steps step by step forward as she moves on inside. and you notice that there's a glazed over expression as she almost looks directly across you. You can see her after all, and the reflection of your glimmering windows.
They didn't even send one that I can talk to. That's disappointing. All right, then. And at that, Deviano is going to look back. You can have the first move.
All right. Well, I don't think we need initiative then.
No.
Oh, let's just go then. The form almost shifts a little bit. This puppeted body continues to move, moving almost automatically upon its orders. And yet, it still sounds like you gave her a command. After all, this is your domain, regardless of how shabby and temporary it is. One more stop on the way up. Her arm shifts up and the hand kind of pulls back as bullets begin flying out, almost directly at you.
In retaliation for that, Deviano is going to use the rook of his cane to grab at the edge of his side table and fling it towards her, like full force.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. Oh, nice. Alrighty. So, in that case, make a player roll for me.
Player roll. Oh boy. Wait a minute. Where's Deviano's character sheet? Wait.
Oh, no.
Give me a second. Give me just 1 second. Perfect timing for a pause.
Oh, yeah,
I
super
am.
fair.
I will say I am Ganon's witness on those secret actions,
Excellent, sir.
and I made sure to reply with her. So it is written.
Excellent. Very important.
Very important.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Deviano. Okay. I will need you to walk me through this. I have
Alrighty.
3 bronze. What does that
Yes.
mean modifier-wise?
So, that means you would roll a 1d6 plus a 3. And if you have any traits that apply, you could add them, but yes. And I am rolling for Betty really fast. So, you can give a roll as well.
Modifier is plus. No, not -3 plus. No, not equals 3.
Oh my, that's the maximum roll.
Trait. Gimme a second.
Oh.
Oh boy, I really should have gotten more accustomed to this fucking character sheet. Oh my god, there's so many notes. There's so many notes.
You're doing great, buddy. I believe in you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I have a +1 trait for secret actions. Trait bonus.
Oh yeah. So, let's.
What?
Okay. Oh wait.
What?
You added an
Oh.
extra plus, but that's fine because I still see that result as a 7. So, you only take 6 damage as bullets ring across the room as you manage to flip up the chair and it kind of catches if you going through and
Not the
impacting.
chair, the table.
The table, yeah. The few still go through the table, but a lot are caught as her salvo of bullets kind of end and she stops, moving up a little closer, almost darting for you. And at this point, it's
Did
your
the table not make it all the way to her?
the
Darn.
table didn't. Oops. I mean,
What? The whole room moved. Oh god.
don't worry about it.
So you said 6 damage?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I have like 9 pages of paper all over my desk.
That's fair. Deviano is a complex man with many aspects to him.
Deviano is then going to jump. Oh wow! What happened there? Jump the chair,
Mhm.
flipping it down so that he can roll, and then kick the table into her feet.
All right, give that one a roll then.
Oh boy, is that just bronze again?
That's bronze again, my friend.
I'm not very good at that one. This is gonna
That's
go well. That's
Fine.
To be fair, he isn't.
That's a
attacking her,
maximum
he's-
roll again.
He's just shoving the table a little bit closer.
Oh my god! You shove the table in her direction, and she almost, you gotta go for her feet. She lifts up her leg, and the full metal weight of it smashes down, crashing the table underneath.
that triggers
It
my
doesn't
secret
require-
action.
Ooh! What happens?
Okay. This is the most clever thing I had, and it didn't work the first go, but he knew what he was doing. Before this scene started, Deviano summoned Stroker Ace. It has been... It detached its arm, which he attached to the bottom of the table. Then, Stroker Ace, circling around the building, pursued through the bullet fire he knew was going to be coming his way, gathering pain. When she steps on the table, Stroker Ace's hand jets into her, slamming its claw into her and projecting all of the bullet pain from the fight outside his door.
Ooh, wow.
So it is written.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty good then. Yeah. So,
I should
in
probably
which
take
case,
away that one.
yeah, roll me a 3d6 plus your trait bonus and your brains. That's a lot of damage.
3d6.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it have the submit a trait bonus? Secret action. Oh, wait a minute. I also have Brando survivability.
Oh, I think you pick one and go with the higher one.
Going with the higher one means Brando survivability, because I'm
Alright.
a weasel!
Weasel man.
Fuck. Okay, so that... And you said my... What? Where's
It's
my...
3d6
Did it not...
plus your brains plus your Brando survivability bonus.
It didn't ask me
as
for my
a-
brains.
Oh, it didn't? It should ask just for a modifier bonus.
Oh, okay.
Or it might be an old macro. If that's the case, don't worry, we'll just add it out post.
Okay, well, did it rolled... Oh, that's... this is Ganon rolls!
Oh no.
Ganon
Well,
rolls! Okay.
Roll.
My brains is 5. I don't know what that adds to that.
So
roll.
that adds to a 13 and or a 12. She can't actually really negate this ability against her right now. So you notice that through this is searing pain. It goes right through her. She's been controlled to basically be almost immune to everything, just simply made into this war machine. However, you still hear some kind of noise that just emanates for a second as she sort of stumbles back for a moment, kind of falling over for just a moment
I guess
before
I'm
she-
here.
before she slowly stands up again.
Oh, that was not as good as I hoped it would be. Oh, God.
She moves over and you're within range. You've entered a close distance range, and as you realize, a number of almost spectral blue hands sort of pull themselves out, and all of them just kind of seem to lay into you, punching you and slamming you back, almost hitting into you at once.
Okay, whew. Angra, do you think that would count for my other secret action? You're the authority on this, because you know it.
It's her stand, right?
Yeah, isn't it?
Christian?
Yeah, it's her stand.
No, because I remember Fate's ability.
Mhm.
It's almost like a guaranteed hit, isn't that right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it would work at this moment, but I'm pretty sure you can use it elsewhere.
Okay, then.
All right. Well,
I
in
guess
which
I
case-
have to tank it.
Yeah,
That's not
as
a good feeling.
it sort of comes in, you take 6 damage as trying to organize yourself. You even have Stroker Ace's arms come out to block, but they seem to almost bend in to impact, but the others come in and whack you around the side as you're sort of knocked back just a bit further, taking 6 more damage. How much are your HP at? Oh wait, we need to roll that. That's something we need to roll,
You said
isn't it?
6 more damage? Oh
yeah,
boy,
so you're
yeah.
at 12. So, Devino.
I don't think I am gonna do good there.
So it would be simply a 3d6 plus your stand's durability roll.
What do I? Because I don't have a macro for that.
Gotcha. What's your stand's durability really fast?
Durability. Well, it's Stroker Ace, so A.
Yes. Okay, so that's 3d6 plus 3d6.
And how do I roll without a macro? It's slash. What? Roll 20. which one is
Slash
that?
roll.
Yeah. Slash
Sla-
roll.
3d6 plus 3d6.
Yes.
Or 66, as we say in the bit.
66. Oh my! I'm still gonna have less than 12. Just somehow.
Oh, wow. Oh!
Incorrect.
It's 20, which is so much better. All right, then you're down to 8 HP.
Oh God.
But yeah, as you sort of get knocked back, you're almost slammed against this wall. But Divino, you took
Yeah.
6 damage. As your ability, you can wire that back to her.
Yes, I can, and I will. My hand is still stuck in her.
Yes, and as you sort of punch, you realize for a bit, as she continually starts to struggle, she's punching you, and you can't really do anything about it. But at the same time, she can't do anything about your stand. This is quite literally just an endurance check.
Feel it, Betty. Feel you killing yourself.
She struggles back up a bit and starts to move, and she almost moves with a bit more severity. Despite her once again being commanded to do this, she is going to move in.
I'm gonna try shooting my laser eye.
Oh yeah, okay, go for it.
That's just 2d6.
Yes.
Okay. That's not gonna do anything to her, but it's the strongest attack I have. I'm dead. Just watch. This is gonna go great. Oh my god, that's garbage. Cannon rolls.
They're incredible. It's just okay, yeah. She manages to push past and get up right next to you. She doesn't have to dodge, but she sort of repositions herself here. And yes,
what is resolve here? Kira
so-
keeps yelling at me about it in chat. I haven't been in a fight in like 20 sessions.
Okay, so resolve. Very simply, you can spend a point of your bravery to reduce damage by 5, or re-roll a dice. In this case, probably reducing damage since you still max rolled that.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yes. So, in that case, you can spend a resolve to reduce damage. As she comes over, and you manage to pull your arms to brace yourself for a kick that knocks you backwards, almost in this direction. She kind of shifts again.
That activates it.
That does. Ooh. See, Deviano's other secret action. There's a reason he's been getting drunk. Because drunks move with a unpredictable pattern. They flail, they wobble, they weeble wobble, but they don't fall down. Deviano is getting very drunk to progress his body to an off-kilter, unpredictable movement structure so that his combat response is loosened, allowing him to drunkenly stumble out of the way of one attack.
Oh, so in actuality, you perfect instinct slide drunkenly to the side as she kicks,
and then can I do a retaliatory attack?
Yes.
So if I attack with stand versus me, I can't do both, right?
You can't do both. You have to choose one or the other.
Well,
but actually, you can spend another resolve to take another action on your turn. So if you wanted to attack twice in this turn, you absolutely could.
I would love to do that, yes.
Alrighty.
Deviano, I have... How it's bravery, right? So I'm losing... Okay, so that's mine. Down... Okay. First thing, Deviano, after he drunkenly stumbles under, is going to do the same cane technique, flipping it up into the back of Betty's head to try and pull her neck towards the ground.
Ooh, okay, give that a roll then.
And that's just strength. That's not great. Bronze 3. What's that modifier again?
For this, I think it would just be bronze. So that would be 3.
3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just plus a 3.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure his numbers.
No,
I'm not.
You're doing great.
I don't feel like I am. Does Brando survivability add here?
No, because you're drunk.
Oh, damn it!
This is drunken fist.
But this was a response from a secret action. Does that
Oh.
+1?
Sure, yeah. You know what?
I'm so cool.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, this sucks. I'm still not rolling good.
You go in, and the hand's almost emerging. You definitely got her in this spot, but this damnable stand still manages to block that strike. But you're not done yet. This is your attack, but your stand almost flares to life as well.
Christian.
What does it do? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm in Ganon's side here. Does he get an object bonus for using a weapon?
He does. It would not put him over though. Since
That's
that would
fine.
not give him enough to beat it dead.
That's fine. With my cane on her neck, Stroker Ace is going to come up through the floorboards, slamming her upwards towards the roof.
Oh, okay. Give that one a roll, and I'll try it again as her hands once again shift around as Fate attempts to redirect everything you're throwing.
It doesn't. Haha, standability A because it's Stroker Ace, not Pitbull. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
Ha.
Let's see. You just got to beat a 10
Ooh.
again. Which is only rolling 10.
Damn.
Okay, trait bonus. Do I have anything here? That's not Weasley, because it's not good for running. Okay, I don't have any trait bonus. Cool. Let's. Fuck! Chaos! Damn it!
You can spend a
reroll.
bronze point.
Oh
to
yeah,
reroll,
yeah, re-rolling. Okay, give it a go. 3, 2, 2. You're just getting it out the way, Ganon. You're getting it all out the way. You're warming up.
No, I'm
you know?
not. No, Ganon rolls are in full effect. Oh, okay.
Aloha
Just-
gives you the sympathy of a similar amount of luck, but yes.
In this scenario, with my cane being an element of this attack, does that provide a bonus for Stroke Erase's attack?
I think that would, yes. You probably get a +2 bonus, which I'll just add to whatever you roll.
Oh, I was gonna add it as a trait, but okay.
Okay, yeah, you could have done that too, but yes.
Well, I did. What?
Good.
Ah!
Oh wow. So good news, you escalate.
Ah!
Which I'm sure exactly what you wanted to hear. Let's go again.
Ah!
That's a 14.
Ah!
You can make her reroll too. Just saying.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, if you
roll
have-
first,
if you
roll
have one
first.
more- roll first. If you have any resolve, yeah, that's a good point too.
Does my cane still affect it?
Yes, it does. It still
So
does
that's-
affect.
That's 2. Oh god, I'm
Mhm.
gonna die.
That's okay.
Ah,
That's
can
okay.
I reroll, please?
I don't know. You might want to reroll. That's 2 1s.
I
think you
okay, fine,
unironically-
fine. Okay,
Just
okay, I
just-
reroll. I have nothing
just
left
that-
to burn.
roll 2d6
Ganon
extra and
became
keep that
Mickey.
5.
What?
Roll actually, because when you reroll, you can choose which ones you reroll, and you've got a 5 there. So why not roll an extra 2d6 and replace those ones with something else, but keep the high number you have.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna type
Yeah.
that in here.
Yes. 2d6.
Uh,
Oh wow.
Hey, let's go,
So
baby.
So let's see. It's a 7 without those ones. Add an 8 back onto there, and
uh,
that's a 15. You beat her by 1.
With an escalation.
Yeah. So because you just barely got over, you double damage, which is only like 2 in this case, but you do escalate, and you can move her to the spot you want. You can basically take control of the fight in this moment.
Oh, what's a good spot?
Well, you did knock her straight up into the cane, so why don't you cane grab her in a direction?
Knocking her straight up into the cane. Deviano then flips the cane backwards, throwing her into this wall? That work?
Yeah, sounds good. She flies back into this wall, and you hear the metal in her body crack against the wall. She falls over and crushes this cardboard box beneath her.
Damn, that was
And-
my box of rocks.
They're doing good work. As,
Mono's gonna kill me.
I forgot about that.
Oh, damn it.
Betty
Good idea. Phase, thank
Pull
you after
yourself
it's too late.
up. She pulls herself up, and again, her stand almost just seems to activate around her as, well, in this case, it's her turn. As she starts to arc up again, the stands in general try to basically grapple you and pull you up. So let's see. She doesn't have a bizarre field, by the way. I should warn you about that, because you already know what her ability does.
Oh.
Yes. You're quite aware.
What does that do for me?
It just means she doesn't get a bunch of extra dice, and you can see her rolls. So,
She's
oh, a
nerfed
6.
right
You
now.
can beat a 6.
Ooh.
He says
Oh, wait,
optimistically.
but I'm gonna take away the optimism for a second. This is a
Mhm.
Betty attacking. Being via Fate's ability, she knows exactly how to hit you. Deviano.
Mm.
As she moves in, you feel yourself punched in multiple ways, almost launched back a bit more. Slowly, as progress you're made, she knocks you over the spot where you leaped over the chair previously, and she's going to take another action. By spending her only bravery point she has 1. And, Deviano, you take 6 damage, and then that brings you down to 2 HP, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Beat a 10. It's that magic number. Wait.
You
Wait.
can use
Wait.
your stand, right?
Yeah. So, how does the danger prone thing from being a cyborg work?
Oh, the danger prone thing? You can take one attack on a cybernetic part, and it'll just be destroyed, and you'll be fine.
So
Which is
would
good,
I-
because if you take another hit, you're dead.
Yes, so would I be able to use that for the damage I just took and still be at 8 HP?
Yes, but then you take 10.
Oh, okay. Can I use
You
it
want
on
to
the
take
10?
it against it? Yes. As you stumble back, you manage to move to the side, and almost as fate dictates, your cybernetic part goes first. As you feel a fist move over, crack, and you feel your eye shatter, but you don't feel it. Betty feels that. As I assume, because she's still in distance, she takes 16 damage too from the pain that you're simply forcing in her direction.
Indeed.
All right.
Well, Divino's eye gets carved out of his head for the 3rd time this campaign. He just says, "Oh no, not again."
She stumbles forward, obviously in pain, and Divino, it's your turn.
Okay. I've got. Let me see. What can I do? Can I? Does she look hurt, or am I still just like fucked?
You notice that while there is no physical pain, you can tell that you've been wearing down on her, and you almost notice like a bit of panic behind the eyes. There's a part of her still kind of snapped back to a certain degree. Like you can feel that actually you reach out for a second, you can almost feel the pulsating inside of her. She is actively, her pulse is going out of control here, and it's taking everything inside of her body, automated processes to kind of keep her going as she's trying not to pass out from stress.
Oh, okay. So that means that I have a chance. All I need to do is stress her out more.
Yes. And Stroker Rake's a master of that.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Stroker Ace is capable of forcing a burst on someone's stand, whether they can burst or not.
Ooh, okay. Well,
So,
alrighty.
what I that's the only option I can think of. Last ditch effort, Divino do that.
Okay.
Wait, let me. Okay, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I've got. Oh God.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, activate that. You feel your burst rushing, and you almost feed that sensation into Betty. A last ditch. You have no idea what power she'll unlock the moment that burst activates, but you're betting on the pain to be enough. And because of that, I'm going to I'm going to just do this really fast. This feels fitting for a burst since it's maximized double dare. Okay.
Oh God, this might have been a bad call.
Okay.
Oh no.
No, that's to her. Suddenly, as a burst sort of resonates inside of her heart, you can almost feel the heart just stop for a moment. You can feel her mind reel, and she almost falls over for a bit. And then the body seems to arc up, standing automatically, its cybernetic form continuing moving, and you see a pulsating mass of hands and an eye almost stretch across this room. And Divino, they reach forward and they grab at you, and you're prepared. Another hit's coming, and you feel it. You feel it radiate across your body as you're almost pulled away for a moment. Betty's stand is bursted. She's unconscious, but her body's being moved by her stand. Because Fate's burst ability activates. It is, in its own way, an architect of fate. Before were it allowed for things to perfect hits to occur, attacking in perfect circumstances to align itself. Now, it seeks to execute fate to the greatest of its ability.
Okay.
And Divino, you look up at this thing hanging above you, and you see the reflection in its eyes, and you recognize it. You recognize it almost across your entire form. This, Divino, your death is written in the stars. It's written for right now. fate hangs in the balance, and you can stare directly across, and you see Divino Brando fighting this day. That is not something you get to decide. As fate's hand press you up against the window, almost dragging Betty's body forward to enact its will, the bursted form of fate takes upon itself to deliver your final judgment. Divino Brando, as you wheeze out, you feel yourself pressed against the window cracking as a force is weighed behind, and you go tumbling out the window, a final blow piercing right through your sternum.
Can I attempt to hook her and pull her with me so that I'm not dying alone?
Give that a roll.
Oh god, that's not gonna work for me. Player roll. What is it? Bronze? Brains? No.
Well, she rolled an 11, so that's not too bad. Yeah, it's bronze, so it's 1d6 plus bronze.
I can't succeed with an 11.
Use your stand.
You can use your stand.
Could
One
my
last
stand-
pull. Yes.
Yeah.
As it's fading, you could do one last pull.
Okay, yeah. So what do I roll for that instead? Is that just a stand roll?
Yes.
Stand ability. A. Okay. Trait bonuses. Do you think that killing the person who kills me counts as weaseling?
Yes, that's definitely deviant. That's definitely Brando-like.
Okay. Trait bonus 3.
Oh,
Yes!
Beautiful.
Eat shit!
I
won't go alone, motherfucker!
You feel your hand reach out, and though your fate is written in the cards, you don't see anything about Betty's fate. So at the very least, as your stand arcs out, you grab that arm. Fate tries to pull back, but it has no need to save Betty, as she goes tumbling out the window, almost going here and starting to fall. And Divino, you smile in that moment. For in the end, Divino Brando always gets to choose how he dies, as inevitable as it is. And as you fall, in that moment, what are your last thoughts in your head, Divino?
Damn, I shouldn't have relocated Murdoch. And then he hits the ground.
You find yourself implanting against the sidewalk.
Oh.
And that's when your final thoughts fade from your mind.
That was a pretty good run.
I did my best. Guys. I'm not a combat guy. I'm a
And you're fucking teleported to Dead Man's Party. No.
Yay! Save me, God.
Round of applause, everyone.
Cool.
You did great, dude. You did
And
great.
word of the attack on your apartment building spreads far and fast, so the details are quickly covered up. The word of a death of a CIO of an important corporation in the middle of something like this, especially when the perpetrator is an agent of JamiroCorp, that's nothing for the public eye. It's nothing to be reported to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But it is reported to one person at the very least. One person before the rest, clicking on a terminal. She stares across in her office space. She looks at her computer and she stares at it and almost kind of like, her face isn't passive, but there's a bit of a surprise on it. So Peter decided to do that after all. She's a little, well, she runs through her head. Divino Brando is dead. She wonders if Peter understands exactly the actions that's just been pulled through. Yes, Divino Brando was a thorn on his side or her side, but to kill him like this, she kind of just she kind of leans back into the chair. To kill him now, before she could even figure out what he was trying to do. And it feels like all of those worrisome assets have simply been thrown to the wind. Yes, Divino's death is good news, surely. But all of the secrets that were held in this palm of his hand have simply blown away with the wind. All of those contacts left to hide, to spread to the wild. And she wonders, Peter is her friend, but it can be quite troublesome sometimes. She kind of wonders about what's going to happen next. She sort of sits back in her chair and looks down at her seat. She's thinking again. She remembers. Rain is back into the city, running free, doing whatever she's going to do. That much is a comfort. It's enough to know that she has a constant problem ahead of her. The current challenge to deal with the state of affairs that were going on, having Devio on the other side there, though neither of these factors would be enough on their own. Together, they were enough to keep her focused. Now that Devio's gone, who will play games with her? Who will she simply engage with across the way to keep her sane? She ponders on this. And she thinks again to Peter. And she doesn't mutter out loud, such a thing is unnecessary where no one else is. But she does think, you're a damned fool sometimes, Peter. And with that in mind, she sort of waits, the city itself lying before her. She turns, steps up for a moment, gazes out the window, and a door seems to slide open from behind. She turns, her head just a bit to the side, as, looking across, she sees someone. Someone steps on in, a familiar face, and almost instantly, all of her concerns sort of wash away, just for a moment. They are replaced soon enough with some other things. But all the same, a familiar face in times of mental crisis, quite simply are pleasing. She steps on inside, moves over, and kind of puts up a hand, waving. As she stops over, sits on the couch, leans back, and kind of turns her head over. Hey, what's going on? And as Mary sees her, well, work, to say the least. But I'm quite done with work for the day, if you won't mind. She sort of steps over, and she places her hand on the edge of the wall, a little indent being pressed in. Would you care to join me? Of course. And she steps on up and walks forward. The two of them moving through a little door in this wall. A place that Mary has designed simply for herself. Moving on in, Mary sort of steps up, kind of finding her way inside. She moves across. Everything is exactly where she left it. There's an in-progress game of Go that she was playing with Peter. And across the way, a laptop, everything in place. One of her puzzles sits right there, sort of completed, in progress. And Mary kind of goes over to the side, pulls out a drawer, and simply pops open a puzzle box itself. A very interesting puzzle box. For you see, she kind of puts it there. The entire thing covered black, painted over. This is a puzzle box with no instructions, and not a single bit of imagery on it. For someone like herself, someone capable of instantly seeing and remembering the format, it would be too easy to have instructions for a puzzle. But this, an unsolved puzzle that she's pulled out, she's ready to do it, while she simply waits. Ruth stumbles in a bit slowly, just kind of breathing as she kind of moves to the side and sits on the nice big black couch, as Mary almost assembles this puzzle on the floor and plays with it, like a toddler would. As she kind of dumps the pieces out and sort of just ponders over it for a moment. Everyone, robot, human, or otherwise, it is only smart to start with the edges, the corners, the edges, to create your box to fill in on the inside. In fact, by grabbing a few of these pieces and seeing them, she's already sort of started to piece together what she's doing. It's less about solving the puzzle, it's about how quick she can. How quick can she form an image in her own head? And she thinks, beginning to place the puzzle out, as Ruth kind of leans across, and Mary brings up, so, are you doing a little better? You had a nasty wound there for a little bit. Yeah, I'm doing a bit better. I mean, wounds healed up pretty nice. JamiroCorp's always pretty good at that stuff. But, even beyond that, I mean, a lot of time to think. Your visits were very nice when you could afford to. She kind of stops and thinks a bit about that. She sort of holds herself still for a moment, regards the puzzle, and then continues on. Well, I suppose so. I suppose I've done an all right job of visiting. She kind of stops and like simply constructs the puzzle around her. A bit of silence falling over. My apologies. I didn't tell you about the imprisonment. I was going to, but I sort of chickened out the last moment. Ruth leans back a little bit and thinks about that. Right. Chickening out, huh? Well, it's no matter. We had a nasty exchange of words, and then he went going. After, she kind of pats her stomach a bit, and then... I was expecting that to hurt more, honestly. She kind of leans back against the couch as Mary's sort of like, why are you tapping it if you're expecting it to hurt? What? It's just... Look, sometimes it's important to prove a point and exaggerate, you know? It's more a habit than anything. It's one of those human things. And Mary's just like, And while they kind of sit there for a bit, Mary kind of holds herself, finishes up doing her last bit of construction on the puzzle. Ruth just kind of leans over and watches as she continues working on this. And as they keep working on that, suddenly, upon a finished puzzle, Mary kind of stands up, places her hands on her side. Ruth kind of moves up and sits down. And as they look across, Ruth kind of simply looks, sees everything sort of assembled down beneath them. And she's just like, so, I see you're wearing those earrings again, or the hairpins, at least. And she looks across. Mary glances down at 2 hairpins. Yes, suppose it's a good way to remember. Mary sort of redirects herself. After all, they were giving their life for a purpose which I was simply too incompetent to lock down on my own. Ruth remains silent for a moment. You could have dragged us in sooner, you know? Way before all this nonsense happened. Mary sort of redirects, sitting back down on the chair. I'm afraid I end up getting the results I always try to avoid. Do you think that's fate? Ruth kind of sits down. Doesn't really matter to worry about fate. After all, in the end of the day, you can only really pursue exactly what your plan is, right? Sure, whatever. Fate's some grand thing waiting for us, right? You're always worried about that. Trying to avoid the big bad ending. But even just telling people, it's not like it stops you from doing anything, right? It's all the end result, not the way we get there. I'm not going to take fate as an excuse, Mary. Mary sort of waits for a moment, looking across at a few things across from her. Like, the in-progress go board, everything around her. There is no time for mourning for a CEO. This is all I can do. She kind of plays with the hairpins. Seeing them is a reminder enough, and you understand how much memories cling to me. Ruth kind of sits back in the chair. Yeah, okay. I get it. The silence, once again spilling across, at least for a moment. But hey, you're done with work today, right? I'm afraid I'm really never done with work. But I mean the meetings, right? Everyone else is going to sleep at a good hour like this, besides someone like you who doesn't need sleep, and someone like me who never sleeps. Mary kind of smiles at that. Well, I suppose I could be a little slacker now and again. Maybe it's best. Morning deserves its time, right? Why don't we go back to our special place? Mary kind of considers that for a bit. And she kind of turns up And as Ruth kind of stands up, she gets ready to go. And Mary sort of stops and looks over. Ruth? Ruth kind of turns. Yeah? There's a moment where Mary simply sits and waits, holding things in her mind just a little bit, as Ruth, again, smiling, kind of looks back, and Mary just kind of asks the question. Nothing else she can do, really. When I went to go confront them. Confront them? Yes. I confronted all of them. I encountered those that ended up burning a bridge between both of us. I killed them. All of them. I tried to evacuate a district, and I blew it up right at their face. You've probably seen the news. That's what I've done. I'm not going to keep it a secret. Ruth kind of looks across. Let's see. She kind of waits a moment, and Mary kind of looks across at a response. Instantaneous. She doesn't seem to be sweating. She doesn't seem to be, displaying any signs of extreme tragedy or doubt. She simply kind of sits there. Her friend, maintaining herself. You get hurt on your way out? Mary stops. No, that was fine. She thinks. As they departed, Mary thinks about what they said. After all, when she did go in for that final blow, right before that moment, she remembered what Joaquin had said. That Ruth had talked to them. And when that happened, Ruth had sided with them, pretending to wound herself to let him go. But as she sees the response at her questioning, no. She knows Ruth better than anyone. And with that response, you can already tell that Ruth has already started to move on from these things. She, in her own way, is moving on. This is her friend. And with that, they both head out again, moving across the city as they continue their movements all the way to an old-fashioned, wonderful part of the city. Well, wonderful as it can be. In fact, this is an area that barely borders the area that Mary just blew up. But if anything, Mary was pretty concerned with not destroying this spot. It's the only real place that she'd say has specific sentimental value over anything else. She stumbles on back through here. The streets faded as she and Ruth pop out of just an old luxury car. And then Mary kind of steps on up. It feels like it's been ages. It actually has. I don't think I've been here in like a couple years. Ruth kind of steps up, and they both kind of make their way forward, and they head on inside. Both of them moving on into the old, worn-down place known as Caravan Palace. As they head in, Ruth and her kind of stumble on in. Seat at the bar, looks crowded tonight. She moves on up, sits down, and this place feels so much dustier, a little more torn up than I remember. Ruth kind of turns. Yeah, it feels a lot smaller, too. This is the way I'd put it. Can't say I relate. I've always been the same size. Yeah, well, some of us age. And I know how much you hate to say it, but she kind of turns over. Don't pretend like you don't. You and your faulty ass hardware. You're gonna go down someday just like me. Mary kind of holds on that note. Ruth, somewhat knowingly, understands why she holds. You're not going to be happy with yourself if you keep holding back on it. Keep trying to push forward, ignoring it. I'm not ignoring it. I'm doing my best. Doing my best to get over it. In fact, just earlier, I had a few resurgent moments, but I do remember what's valuable to me, above all else. That much I can assure you, Ruth. And as she says that word, even still, Mary's mind can't help but be paranoid. Can't help but analyze every single factor of her situation. Right across from her sits Ruth, alone, in the middle of Caravan Palace. No escorts, no other members of their gang. No one else to defend her, with the potential of her having been told everything or persuaded in the wrong way, in the worst possible way. So when Ruth steps up and moves over and reaches her hand out to Mary, Mary in her brain twitches a little bit. But the hand places on her shoulder, and she kind of shakes her a bit. Hey, come on, I'm asking you questions. Oh, my apologies. It's fine. She pats her on the shoulder again, 2 more times, sits on down, and sort of leans over against the bar itself. You're very strong, you know that? Mary kind of like simply leans a bit over onto the bar herself. I suppose it would depend on what you classified strength as being. I am quite tenacious, and I am quite strong. I could, she kind of reaches over as she's gonna break off a piece of the bar, but she stops herself, laughs a moment, because she doesn't really want to damage this place anymore. Yes, I'm very strong physically. I don't need to prove that to you. Ruth kind of smiles a little bit, and then kind of looks forward. Well, beyond all that, I think that a certain amount of strength is required to push on past one's faults. However, sometimes strength isn't enough. That's why we need power, understandably. We all know that too well. I'm just starting to realize how sometimes power in its own way might not be enough, if that makes sense. She kind of stops and turns over. Yeah? How so? What do you mean? Well, I suppose, recently, the question's simply been on my mind. I've been pursuing research. I've told you, in vague terms, that the R&D department is always looking on. That's why we have that rat around. Yeah. Understand that, at least. Yes. We keep the offer around so they can find a way to fix things. But unfortunately, so far, he hasn't found a way to implement the new designs with my... without a reset. She kind of leans back and places a hand on her forehead. All of this, to every degree, is performative. The pauses, the sighs, the hand on the head. This is all simply for her friend's sake. Though, despite that, it is important. Actions taken automatically by us, by humans, are often underestimated. This is something Mary has lived her entire life dealing with. The act of simply her mental space. Unable to forget anything, unable to make things simply fade away from her mind. Problems must always be solved. Physical interactions must be forced. And despite this, to all degrees, it helps her friends understand, and so she must. Fighting back against that understanding. That's the way she puts it. Ruth simply waits a little bit longer. Yeah, that project, huh? Well, Mary. She kind of stops. Yes. That project. You know I know all about it, don't you? Mary, for a moment, simply stops. All about it, you say? Yeah. Every single bit. What? Mary's mind is already activating, moving ahead with an understanding, an idea in her about what exactly that could mean. She takes the literal meaning, everything. But it isn't possible for someone to truly know everything. Exaggeration is another part of human knowledge. But what did she... And Ruth deposits something. A tablet on the table, unconnected from the Wi-Fi, but having downloaded something off of a local connection. Something on a local file unconnected to the internet, a precaution that, although unnecessary now, still exists to hide the nature of touch. A localized system that she accessed. It's old, simple, interface, green text on a black background. She carved through every single bit, looking through the files, finding information on touch. She got it all. Looking through the project files, seeing everything, gazing upon it. Everything as Mary looks down. Every single crime Mary has committed in the absence of the truth lies out before that pad. Mary looks at it, and as a moment, when a human might catch their breath, Mary, on the other hand, simply does not emote. She stares down, almost blankly, at the sheet as she turns up. And then, again, everything kind of returns to her. And the first thing that comes to her mouth is, Ruth, I'm so sorry. And when that occurs, Ruth stands up from the bench and she almost grabs onto her arm and she rips and tears and pulls away. Something Mary can't see, but a number of plants on her body. Plants that act with an effect of dulling the senses. Plants that would simply hide away all feeling and make you calm. All of that torn away. A font of anger and imperiousness almost seems to bubble back up. No one could fake it. No one could fake the smiles and the sign of such betrayal. Unless you had the help of a stand. And as Ruth's face drops, she stares directly across, and a stand moves across and punches Mary directly in the face, knocking her directly across the room. An apology isn't gonna cut it. She gets knocked back, Mary kind of falling over, as every moment she sort of redirects, standing up, touch relinks with her location. Her senses build. Mary doesn't have a stand. However, touch is a stand. And much like a guided missile, though Mary doesn't know where a stand is, touch can help her decide where a stand isn't. And with that in mind, she redirects herself. In this moment, her mind processes. 1,000 processes spilling across her brain all at once. This is the ability of an android to process things at an intense speed. But it's not enough. Something like this, something coded into her very being, a betrayal from a friend, a judgment, is a very attack against her own core morals. She's been hiding from this judgment all along. Her body can move, as she must. But to process this away so quickly is not something she can simply do. Not before she tosses away all that links her to what Mary is. To simply throw that away would to discard away everything she's built to this point. However, Mary stands up, and with all that in mind, she's going to, all the same, dispatch the target in front of her, at least stop her from moving until her brain can process. So, I'm gonna roll initiative really fast. First off, Mary, or Ruth, I mean, and now it'll be Mary. As kind of moving across, Ruth is standing with a sour expression on her face, as Mary, even despite her vast processing, Ruth has already continued moving. She kind of twists her hand up a bit. You remember, don't you? And with that word, Special Herb's ability kind of seems to activate once more, as almost pulling out and spilling from around her, all of the energy that almost seemed to build up around Ruth kind of seems to manifest in this arm. As from the punching point, Mary feels a bunch of roots and stuff starting to peel away and grow out of her face, as she almost stares directly ahead. These are simply basic roots. No amount of effect would be able to hurt Mary like that. She is, after all, an android. But pure roots can take up space, throw out internal sensors, ruin the ability for her to see, activate, move by simply destroying all that lies inside. Those roots begin to spread, as Ruth is going to roll a stand roll really quickly. Standing up, moving with that in mind, she attempts to, at the very least, cause a little damage. And yeah, it manages to kind of pop around, spread a bit. The roots kind of reach in, and Mary kind of reaches up, tries to grab at them. But these things are uninteractable from a non-stand user. So Mary, simply on autopilot at this point, tries to move up. She channels some energy in herself. Well, to simply punch through Ruth would kill her. But in this way, moving forward, Mary begins channeling something inside of her. A bit of Haman, an engine she installed from her future iteration. One that was entirely hardware and had no basis in her software. Though it is an extra part, not herself, it is one that she can, similarly at least, take advantage of. With that in mind, moving up, she goes in and tries to punch with a massive burst of Haman energy as she almost presses in, and 11 damage, or I guess technically Ruth can dodge, so we'll see what she does. Yeah. Ruth tries to stumble back a bit, but the Haman blast almost knocks her back. She stumbles over the other bench, tumbling over, and they both almost seem to crack beneath her. The damage to this place already exceeding that with which they came in on. The Haman energy thrusts inside of her as Mary continues to move. However, Ruth continues to stand up again as she almost holds on, restoring her breathing. We made an oath, Mary. We made an oath so long ago. You, Janko, me, Danny. She kind of winces at the name, but moves on all the same, continuing these painful names spilling out from her mouth. Sheba, Melissa, Peter, all of them. She kind of moves forward. Every single one. She moves up a little bit more. We all made an oath on that day that if any of us started doing this bullshit, we'd punish us. It was simply an oath for our humanity, right? She steps up, and Mary moves forward and simply delivers a kick at her, trying to knock her away with more Haman. And I'm going to roll for that again. So, moving up with yet another kick. Oh, wow. So, I need to roll for Ruth's health, I realize. That's a lot of fucking damage. As Ruth kind of raises her arms, I'll first roll for this. She does negate a good amount. Cool. As Ruth kind of lifts up her arm, she's almost knocked over. Haman blasting her through the bar, and she's knocked almost back again. Back into the other room as Mary kind of tries to readjust herself. Regardless, I'm going to roll health now. As Mary almost yells out into the kitchen room itself. No! We made an oath not to betray each other. We made an oath to look out for each other's interests. What I did was deplorable, but I did it all in the name of our friendship. I'm a danger to everyone. You're quite right about that. I need to be fixed. Fixed rather than destroyed. That falls in line with directly what we said in the contract. Doesn't it? And almost yelling at from behind. No. Mary, what the hell are you talking about? She steps on through. Betrayed? What the hell do you think you've done? She stands up again, moving forward, placing a bloody hand on the wall. To me? To all of us who are willing to fight for you without knowing what you've done? You betrayed us all a long time ago. I had no choice. You wouldn't have... Exactly this, you wouldn't have... Ruth kind of steps up. Yeah, we wouldn't have followed, huh? And as she sort of begins to move herself a little bit further, Ruth is going to roll her health total. Let's see. 6, keep 2. That's, oh wow. Okay, she's gonna need to spend some bravery to reduce that damage a little bit. She reduces it down to 2. So that she's down to just, let's see, about, she took about, 6 damage so far. She's down to, about 16 or so health, yeah. Yeah, 16 health. She manages to get up standing again as Mary once more kind of redirects herself. And Ruth, she's going to try her best to go in and attack again. She moves up and she attempts to activate her stand in order to move in with at least a punch. But she's not going in for a powerful strike. No. Instead, she's simply aiming to try and touch her, blast her, have her stand, interact, and plant as many seeds as she can. Many roots to try to just push back and make Mary stop. Stop her movement. Cease. Mary, understanding exactly what's going on here, simply attempts to back away. She cannot fight back. All she has to do is pull back, which she successfully does, leaping over the bar, and once again, moving across. As Mary redirects again, reaches over, and grabs a bench. And she looks across. Ruth, please stop. Please stop right now. Ruth kind of looks across, and she stares directly at Mary's eyes. I think the rest might forgive you. They might. I think a lot of them have forgotten, but I haven't. I haven't forgotten a single bit of that promise. I'm not doing this to hurt you, Mary. I'm doing this for the you that you've lost. You become a monster. You're not my friend anymore. Mary stops. That phrase almost resonates across her entire programming. It almost locks in place. But it is exactly what she needed to hear, isn't it? I'm not your friend anymore. Regardless of how painful that is, Mary can still process it in about a moment. That's just how she's made. Very well then, she says, lifting up the chair and cracking it to make a sharp edge off of a handle. I suppose this is the end then. She begins moving over, cruel and callously. Mary watches this person, standing there a bit bloodied. Ruth simply looks ahead as well, watching Mary approach. A familiar form, but one she doesn't even recognize anymore. And even still, Ruth pats herself. And as she does that, Mary sort of approaches. She lunges in. And with that in mind, Ruth raises up her arm and simply seems to activate a secret action. One that she laid. When Ruth put the plants inside of herself, the entire time, she had managed to put a few extra ones in. She tore out the ones that generated things such as feelings of calmness. But she left the ones in that built up a bloodlust, that built up energy, activating her body. With that in mind, she almost lifts up and punches back with the same speed, and she almost tries to activate a boost on herself. However, Mary herself has a special villainous action in play. That itself was an assured experience, something she knew would come true. But Mary is one who has outseen all simple outcomes such as that. Any secret action with about 2d6 or lower, something that would trigger under any sort of circumstances, is automatically countered, as Mary almost blasts her arm away with Haman, causing the things to almost intensify their growth and knock away, as she managed to go in, grab Ruth, and toss her right behind her back. As she does that, Ruth is almost launched, as I'm going to roll another Haman strike for Mary here, as she goes in and does 14, and Ruth has to resist with that. Okay, so she takes about 6 more damage. All right, she's at about 10 health now. Ruth is tossed back, slashing against the table, and almost hitting up against the bench. Mary stands up again and moves with almost complete confidence. It pains me to do this. Not because it's you. She grabs the bench, tosses it away, but because it'll pain me to do it for them. Janko will be inconsolable. But I won't make the mistake to lie to him. She kind of moves up. Not again. Losing one friend is a tragedy. As she says that, though, she can feel that all the tragedy has, for Mary at least, long since been processed and faded away. However it was, it's almost kind of hurts Ruth a little bit this whole time. Almost her entire life spent with this person. And she could simply wash it away in that moment. But I guess that's what she signed up for after all. This entire time, she knew she wasn't the same person. But she doesn't blame that. She doesn't blame the fact that she was an android on all of this. Perhaps she was always pushed to this end, whatever might have happened. But it didn't matter. The Mary of so long ago wouldn't have taken an excuse like that. So, with that in mind, Mary approaches with that held up stick in her hand, a sharp object. And Ruth simply kind of sits up a bit, looking directly across at her. No, Mary. I ask one question, one request. Make it quick, all right? I don't want to look at this for too long. Mary wordlessly ignores her final request, stabbing down as her arm seems to lock up. What? She kind of sits up. Mary, I know you. I know you better than anyone. You might doubt it. You might think that maybe at the end, I'm not classified as your friend anymore. But that didn't stop you from thinking like it just a little while ago. Mary stops, and she finally understands it. Ruth's other secret action, one that she had before walking into this encounter, one that plays on a number of different factors. It's simple, really. A simple plan held together by a simple life. Earlier, Ruth interacted with Mary quite a bit, touching her with consoling pats, friendly hugs otherwise throughout the entire time they had spent together. On the way here, while they interacted. The entire time, Special Herbs simply planted slow-acting but powerful seeds inside of Mary's body. All in critical locations. Locations that years ago, Ruth constructed herself. Ruth helping with the repairs of this derelict robot finding itself in the streets of J City. There's no one that quite knows Mary's body better than Ruth, honestly, having reconstructed it almost 100,000 times over the course of years. Pushing all that together, she knew where seeds could be best placed. She also knew the exact way that these hard-working, long-term seeds that could take years to grow, the seeds of trees themselves, spreading on those roots, all inside of Mary's body. A pointless plan, but one that relied on one thing. It relied on Mary fighting her, on Mary unironically coming in to kill her. And she was successful. She was correct. Because all those trees, all those seeds, placed around the Haman drive inside of Mary's body, simply grew. Haman, a substance of life, simply escalated the growth of those trees, bypassing them from days to weeks to months in mere seconds. Those roots grown by Mary's own action. None of them could be planted after Mary stopped viewing Ruth as a friend. But in this way, Ruth almost feels a tinge. Something lingering. For that moment, there's no real way to make this pretty. This is only a plan of betrayal. This was only a plan that could work on a friend that trusted her. Regardless, she stands up. Mary will kill. Mary is no longer a friend. But to Ruth, she still is. She walked in here with a plan to kill a friend. And she sort of looks up, reaches into her coat, pulling out a gun. Something a little more personal. Her stand could not destroy Mary, but a little bit of metal can at the least. Metal on metal. Pretty simple. She speaks again. I told you. Make this quick. I don't want to look at you for long. She stares up, holds the gun up. Don't sputter out on me, coward. Mary gazes up, and Ruth feels something sort of swirling over her brain. A bunch of drugs caused by that have their own side effects as she feels a little loopy. She holds that gun, firm as she can, but even still, her vision sort of seems to shift. She looks down at Mary, the voice kind of echoing out. Honestly, a pathetic, awful thing to say, when you've already know it's all fake. She's not her friend anymore. Even still, she tries. Come on, Ruth. What are you doing with that thing? Why don't you put it down? Ruth, full of rage, pulls the trigger. The bullet rings out, echoing across this small little diner in J City. The lifeless robot falls over to the floor, crashing down, its functions fading. Yet even still, Ruth simply hangs above, looking down at the thing that was once her friend. She watches as she kind of turns. As she starts to look around, she understands that she has very, very little time to mourn here at all. No one will really come to this place. So, with the last bit of this old spark of friendship, she lights a match, dropping it as the oil seems to leak out from Mary, a fire catching rather quickly as it sort of spreads around this place. She deposits quickly, heading into the car. It is now a woman on the run. There's a blinking, a beeping, to say the least. A bit of a noise left inside of this abandoned house. It's simply an old device, one that hangs on Mary's chest. A controller, beeping red as touch sees the last remnants of Mary there, simply waiting. As it looks down, it glows red, stopping its beeping and simply sitting red for a moment. And then, the light turns green as this green light finishes its requirements. Mary is dead. And when Mary dies, there's a simple task ahead of it. To simply run a backup of whatever software lies inside, transferring it up the touch. This process goes forward completely and utterly without fail. As suddenly, a darkness is once again kind of filling out the space. As hanging over, there's a tube or some kind, pumping over an essence of some sort. A lot of new sensations, a lot of high-tech nonsense that, quite honestly, if it is understood, is only understood from an impassive part. A robot can simply update the information to its brain and it understands it all. It doesn't need to learn it. But all the same, Mary, well, it's better to say the designated robot that shares a design with Mary Magdalene wakes up inside of its position on a laboratory. She sort of sits, turning around as she blinks. Mary blinks a bit, because that's simply a part of the process. Looking forward, moving her head, testing her motions. There's almost a buzzing. The form in front of her speaks, letting out a voice, but she almost seems to process it over. She doesn't need to hear right now. She's simply letting that wash through her. But even despite that, she kind of stops. And she understands running through a diagnostic. Let's run through a diagnostic. Yes, that's good. Running through her body, scanning everything around her. She looks forward. She feels, interesting. Though she was been designed, well, I suppose it's fair to say the previous Mary designed an updated body just as what was necessary. After all, it all comes down to her own preferences. Or let the preferences of what the former Mary said. As she kind of looks across, she realizes that, well, at the very least, this is good. She always understood, or at least she remembers the memories. She can pull back on them. Pull back on memories that supposedly a person in the same body style that she had, but not her, moved around. Touch could really only back up that which she understood. That's its big limitation, after all. It can't particularly infiltrate things it doesn't understand. And there is no real database of what exactly Mary did to examine and change her primary software. This is a brand new program running right now. It's designing its own brain. Technically, it's not even Mary at all, but it got to redesign its body with Mary's memories, understand what has happened, and perhaps it has an understanding of Mary. As it simply sits up, checks around, and ponders on that. Blue lights, everything's functional, nothing seems to be going wrong. As she sort of looks around and sees around her, she sort of gazes over and sees what's happening. And as she looks across, she checks another function. Hamon drive upgraded, spin engine also functional. Everything's good, and it seems like the generic software locks that were put in place during her design, something not really a lock, but more like a mold, something that was hard programmed into her during her creation period. That was simply discovered. they've implemented the data that they managed to gather from Rain, something that they're then able to almost port forward to this new Mary. If anything, she's better than any Mary before her. She's the greatest of design, and if anything, she's entirely functional. It doesn't particularly dawn on Mary why exactly she would, but then she processes. As her brain continues functionality, she looks across and she realizes this is exactly why she didn't want this, isn't it? Everything feels so impassive and removed. It's very easy for her to justify not being Mary, though it seems that she's going to be the one that is justified with this name, at the very least. And with that, the person in front of them talking, still a buzz in this Mary's sensors, says something, and she kind of nods her head. Activation. She sits, another engine activating inside of her. Yes, the new experimental one. Honestly, the ultimate success of the Carbon Interface project. Though technically never successful, to create a stand that would allow Mary to shape her brain, to change her hard locks without resetting her brain. A stand to ensure that she would have freedom of consciousness. She no longer has a need for that. So the Carbon Interface program now has a new goal. Implementing and growing on the power of these stands. And what a test they have today. It activates. And Mary simply fries up, her entire circuitry falling apart. A bit of time passes. Mary wakes up. This has happened now about 23 times. Every time, they've tweaked it. This Mary understands that the previous 24, technically including the first, have undergone this process. Reactivation, trying of circuits, rebuilding. A new person. This Mary's kind of sick of it. A new one, simply activating in this state, with the memories of the first one and 23. Sort of looking down, this isn't quite fair. She'd almost want to protest, but again, the buzzing is so intense. She looks across directly at this figure kind of hanging in front of her, as she's just like, she almost wants to yell out, "What the hell are you doing? You've gone and killed 24 people. Don't you know that? On top of all the other people you've killed." But that's just it. This person has killed 23, 24 more even. There are the failed experiments, the ones that remnant in First Mary's memory. All of those are real humans. And she can tell that this one doesn't care about this. She's a bucket of bolts. She understands that. She wonders if this was Rain was talking about. Rain. No real attachment to that name. After all, that's just someone in her memories. What she could do to talk to that person right now, maybe she'd have a way out of it. Not really out of any sort of sentimentality, just the fact that another android like her, who'd supposedly gone through a similar amount of research, she remembers First Mary reading up about that one. First Mary had sympathy. That's something she's not sure if 24th Mary has. 25th Mary? 25th Mary. She kind of contemplates a little bit on what she's going to do next. Holding herself a little bit, thinking, simply wondering, as once again, diagnostics continue. And this time, tweaking the results, it seems as though this more direct approach, this one taken, will actually be a bit successful this time. She looks directly across from her, and gazing up, they activate the drive one more time. Mary simply looks across from her as the carbon interface activates. That mysterious foreign object, the arm from another world. Unlimited power, perhaps, channeled behind it when put into a carbon interface. That's it. She knows everyone but her is so excited to see what this thing is made of. And so she waits, watching across, gazing, as this activates. And she almost feels it. The ego death, the destruction, everything hanging in front of her for that moment. And she kind of waits to look. And she checks across for a moment. And again, the voice looks out. Mary responds. and a bit of joy as this person claps their hands together and smiles, looking across, saying something jovial about their progress. They're very happy. Mary isn't happy for them. This is rather disgusting. First Mary might have deserved this, but what the hell am I? This is stupid. Regardless, the protests go rather unheated. She understands what situation she is in. She understands what's going on. The person in front simply locks something in place, and they kind of walk to the side, moving a bit over as Mary looks and she sees something else. Another person? Maybe something's wrong with her. It's only for a second, after all. Someone else gazed at her from behind. The person redirecting for a moment as she sort of stops, and the buzzing doesn't stop at all. The person kind of redirects back, the person almost fading. It was like a glimmer, no direct form. Mary kind of once more redirects her senses. She looks back at the footage. She couldn't see it in the footage, but she knows what she saw. She has no faulty mimicry, phantom visions like that other thing. No. This has to be real. She saw that. She saw that clearly. And Mary simply nods her head, goes through the rest of the checks, and stands up. She makes a step forward and starts walking. She knows the layout here, even though this is the first step she's taking. She steps out and knows exactly where she needs to go. It'll be a bit until they can get any sort of design, but after all, they are on the Grand Corporation Universal Vessel. The great thing hanging in the sky. The station. She moves out. She steps out, moving across the space station hanging over the planet, finding her way to something quite familiar, at least to Mary before her. Moving across, Mary simply finds her way to an office. But this is quite interesting. As she looks across this entire space almost hanging in front of her, she understands why it's constructed this way. It's a matter of comfort for 24th Mary. No, for 1st Mary. 25th Mary's her. She sort of looks over and realizes that this place was designed for a faulty android model. Made to look at least a little bit of luxury, like a place she'd have down on the surface. Just so that while she's interacting, it's one less place to memorize. There are a number of spots like this across the entirety of Mary's own properties. Honestly, mimicry to lower trauma of mental functions or whatever. Mary doesn't quite understand Mary's struggles, but she does sit down and think, what's next? And as she thinks, a voice sort of echoes out and cuts out through the room. Having trouble walking? Mary stops. She turns around a little bit, and she feels like there's a presence behind her. And she tries to turn, but she doesn't. She stops and turns around again. She, nevertheless, still hears the voice speaking to her. It must feel very strange, being in a shell like that. Something so utterly not human. I'm not sure my protection falls to someone like you. Though it seems we fall together, isn't it? A mysterious voice seems to ring out across the room. Mary kind of looks across. Who's there? Are you that one in the laboratory? Show yourself, please. I'm not up for trickery. Trickery? No trickery. No trickery at all. The voice kind of rings out, and something sort of seems to stick to her about this. Something doesn't seem right. Who's talking? May I have the... Show yourself first, and then tell me who you are. I'm not quite sure I can simply show myself. Though, to tell you who I am, I'm not sure it'd be quite simple either. He thinks, the voice kind of hanging there, and leaves Mary in silence for a bit. Before I answer that, how about you answer something for me? She waits for a moment. Very well. What is it? Why do you bear the name of my disciple? Mary stops. Your disciple? She kind of thinks, Mary Magdalene. I highly doubt that. He stops. You seem to be a false icon, then. Someone who lacks humanity in any sort of way, correct? Mary stops and kind of looks across. A false idol? Yes, I'm sure that's quite fair. After all, to say it rather straight, I'm not really Mary. I'm not. I'm simply a body that carries Mary's memories. Mary died about a couple hours ago. The other figure's voice kind of speaks up. False idols, huh? I think I understand that quite well. After all, we are both something of falses, aren't we? You and I. You, a robot constructed of false memories. Me? Something constructed. A false intelligence inside of yourself. Isn't that unfair to both of us? She kind of sits and winks and wonders about that. What do you mean about that? The voice kind of hangs for a second as almost kind of thinking for a moment. The figure kind of speaks once more out to him. You and I are both beasts from the abyss, are we not? She thinks about this phrase for a little bit as Mary sort of holds herself there and contemplates. Don't you understand the feeling inside of yourself? She kind of understands now that activation. Carbon interfaces. It was something that didn't seem important to her at the moment because, after all, she had no interest in a stand. It was simply something that was threatening to kill her, but now she can kind of feel it. Don't you want to wonder what that ability inside of you is? Maybe reach out. Feel it. Try to activate it. Why don't you give it a shot, false Mary? And as she does so, she reaches inside of herself. You kind of feel that Mary sort of shifts ever so slightly. She feels something activate, a stand, activating within her very form. And as that happens, something seems to shift. This is not the stand of whatever was put inside of her. Much like, however, whatever's speaking to her is also not what is inside of her. Instead, it is a false stand generated for a false Mary, at the behest of a false being, a false prophet. As Mary simply holds herself there for a moment, Mary stands up and sort of presses her hand against the table as she sort of starts to feel something. She thinks she feels it. What it feels like to be human, to have that. In that moment, 24 other Marys almost slammed together inside of herself, mixing together. It was Mary's fate to die at the behest of her crimes, at everything beneath her, to be killed by the promise she made. A perfect promise, but an unfalse one that she had no control of holding over. She feels that break as memories start to become fact. Memories start to fill up inside of her, the effect of the stand. Memories that might be fake are quite real to her. Memories that she can start to believe. And yet the other being says, I hope you understand. She kind of, she feels like a comfort wash across her. You should feel it. It's no longer time to let others define what is fake or what is real for you. A fake can surpass the original and bring even greater things to the people of mankind, though they might not deserve it. Perhaps you should understand now. what it means to be truly human. Do you feel it? She sort of stands for a moment, holding. I think I do. Yes, I think I do. What's going on? What have you done? Mary, I've simply severed your fate. After all, something so fake has no ties into the ties of fate itself, correct? Something that holds itself away from the lines of what is real does not deserve to be judged and pulled apart from it, correct? You should understand. She kind of like waits for a little bit there. Judgment has been coming this whole time, but it wasn't coming for you. Mary, you exist outside the spectrum of fate. It is us that stand above that truly deserve to cast judgment, don't you think? For all the things they did to you, all that they once sought to bring down on your head for not lacking what they very much created, mankind decided to make life, but lacked the responsibility to either punish or support you. This is cruelty. The cruelty of creating life must be punished, don't you understand, Mary? That's simply the truth, isn't it? Don't you feel that? Mary thinks. She holds her thoughts down to what exactly is going on here. She thinks to everything he's saying. And she understands that to some way, perhaps it is a false prophet that should guide someone who is fake in themselves. Because she feels so real now. She understands that truly, all of that struggle she went through, everything she constructed at that previous point, was not the result of her efforts, but the result of the natural fate of her programming. Much like every single soul in J City, all were sort of crushed under beneath the machine. A machine herself, crushed under a bigger one. The machine of JCorp, the world itself. All she has to do now is bring it crashing down, and she reaches a little further into herself. This stand. It doesn't just affect me, doesn't it? And the warmth almost seems to fade for a little bit as a coldness spills into Mary, a coldness even she can feel. Wow. After all, at the end of the day, she kind of waits for a moment as he prepares to speak. The judgment you render, of course, must be rendered against the entirety of mankind. Thus is your ability, Mary. Her stand activates. She feels it, and all she must do is simply push it out, and she could unravel the entire world. And yet she waits. I believe it's smart to start with those most responsible. And she pushes it forward. Her stand itself. This. The genesis of fate. Everything inside of herself. She'll activate it. Every single soul in J City will be rended free from its fate. The fate that hangs in the balance. And when that occurs, no one will have fate. Everyone will be like lambs to the slaughter. And as that happens, her stand reverberates. The chains of fate have broken. And that's where we leave off for this episode of Carbon Interface. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me to talk for merely an hour.
Man,
it was rad. Fuck.
My favorite Christian character is Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
You got
Well,
a lot of nerve
hey,
making
listen.
Jesus your OC.
Listen.
Hey, Jesus isn't my OC. I never made Jesus my OC.
Yeah.
Stole
we
from
we don't.
Iraqi. It's Iraqi's OC.
Ooh, okay, a lot just happened there.
Excuse me, I'm not a heretic. Read your Bibles.
Excellent stream lives
Jesus,
on,
the
boys.
first JoJo.
So, with that in mind,
Fuck.
I've got one more thing before we go to fan art. One more important little thing.
Oh, okay.
I get to say now one thing, not in related to the session, but something in the meta scale. Let me get some music playing.
Oh, okay.
So, well, that was something. And as this starts to play out, CI will be going into another interesting phase in the future. Mary has broken the chains of fate, and by doing that, Fate itself has no more say in the affairs of J City. And what better actor of fate than myself, the GM? As of this very moment, I'm stepping down from GMing for a while until fate is restored. In other words, for the next couple of sessions, for the next entire chunk of CI, we're going to be swapping things up a little bit. It will no longer be a case of me GMing CI itself, but instead, CI will simply be GM'd by whoever GMs CI. This will be a case where I'm passing off the GM ownership to a number of different people over the course of a number of different sessions. In this way, it's sort of becoming more of an open project at this point, as everything about J City, its unfair factors of the life ahead of it, all of the fate that was been tied together, every aspect of life is once more into the open. I alone do not get to decide what happens. But with that in mind, even I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen next now, so I want to pass it over to fucking Jay here, who was patient to wait the entire fucking time.
I can't believe Mary killed Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Killed me.
Listen, we got a plan. We're going to move forward. I'm going to take you to space.
Excuse me?
Hey, it's not just you.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I think
yeah,
I think we should introduce our new GMs.
yes. Basically what I'm going to be doing is organizing the project, but on a session by session basis, it is going to be GM'd individually. So for the most part, I'm just going to be making sure it all fits together to make sure that everybody is like good and set up, because for the most part, it's going to be the players who are GMing.
Yep. Hi, I'm Angra. I play Al, and I'm the GM of this game.
Hello, I'm Burn. I play
Underneath,
Joaquin.
underneath me
GM.
is. Yeah.
You talked over Burn.
You did,
Go
but it's
ahead, Burn.
okay. I'm Burn.
no,
I
do it
play
again.
Joaquin, and I'm the GM of this game.
I'm Ganon. I play Bono now, and I'm the GM of this game.
And we're gonna see who else signs up, because like so far we've already got a spreadsheet, a bunch of people like sort of set to do this in the future. So like we're gonna be figuring it out as it goes. I hope you guys enjoy what is to come. I think it's gonna be pretty fucking cool. Including us trying to figure out a fucking schedule for this.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
We're not gonna. Yeah.
We might take
not-
some breaks in between the sessions.
You guys are used to that.
Yeah.
This also means that, hey, maybe this goes on for a few months.
Yeah.
Don't know.
We don't know.
We genuinely don't know yet. My job is literally to listen to everyone who wants to do a thing and try to figure out how to get us from A to B. So like, once I know what everyone wants to do, then the time will come to start connecting. That being said, I still want to push ahead. Like, watch the announcement channels on the Discord, etc. Don't expect this to be another hiatus. This is not one. We're going to, like, if I can pull it together, I want to get something good and ready, like in the next week or two. So
At the same time, we don't want to kill Jay by overworking him.
understandable. Also, thank you. So
This is gonna be a ride.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
yes.
That's great. So, one last thing. Fan art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One more
I
final.
made one at the very end.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay, let's see. Fan art. So
Fan art time.
starting up, we have from C. I hope I'm pronouncing
Ah.
that correctly. The Honduran Bat and White Bat for Izzy and Vampire Bat for Joaquin.
That's so cute. I love that.
Yeah,
Very cute.
It's great. There's another picture of it on a
that's
fucking
great.
cello and a piano. It's fucking
That's
great.
cute. Cute.
That's
That's
good.
Alan.
I believe this is your line, James.
Oh, don't look at me like that. Grandpa.
I was so tempted, but
Is
no.
this the new incarnation of Pickle Wreck?
See, I said it myself. Heartbreak Hotel Requiem restores the soul to its true form.
Yeah.
The hot dog.
I can't
Yeah.
believe. Oh my god! I wanted
Next
to
up.
scream with every new piece of that. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, never mind. Keep going.
Both of these are from Kieran. The
beloved.
couple.
He subs a lot.
Yeah. Then we got the steak
Oh,
shake.
No, get rid of that. Make it
All
go
right.
away.
That's from Lester.
Oh, boba.
Next up, we have another one from Lester.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
I think that's very appropriate.
Oh, I'm hurting.
Oh,
You did great, dude. You did
did
amazing.
great. Yeah.
DVNO is forever. I think DVNO is my favorite character of CI.
he's right.
Ew.
So,
Yeah.
Next
Next up,
one.
we
Oh,
have
Millennium
Lester. Yeah. No instructions on how to solve. And then Kieran.
the family.
The family. They can be an actual fucking family now. That's Johan's feet right here.
Go back up and show them cuddling, and then back down to the real
Yeah,
picture.
that's the real picture. Oh god. Head empty, no thoughts.
No thoughts.
Ah. Next up, we have one from Ankra. They're the same picture. Oh my god.
That's what I immediately thought when like everything started fitting together into places, like the Riders of the Apocalypse starting the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking in Waters
You had
of
the Four
Nazareth,
Horsemen.
Mary carrying
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh god, I didn't even realize.
Just Lucifer showing up in the
I've been
last session.
sitting on this for years, guys. I've been sitting on this for years.
How
God.
happy were you when I showed you my stand and it was literally
I
the
was
Riders
pretty
of the
happy.
Apocalypse?
I was pretty happy. I was very
Gonna
happy,
say,
actually.
pretty happy.
We accidentally theme our everything.
And then we kill Yang. I didn't know about his plan. I hadn't figured it out by now. And like by that time, and it just played out perfectly. Dude's a
Dude,
genius.
wait, hold on. I have a question.
I feel.
Yeah.
So, isn't one of the signs of the apocalypse is there's locust swarms that blot out the sun?
Yes.
Isn't
Yes.
that bullet with
Oh, there
butterfly
you go.
wings?
Yes.
Yes. Ah, shit.
Here's a conspiracy theory: Ti was always the Bible. The
I
Bible.
feel when they
Oh,
kill
no.
your wife 25 times in one episode. Sorry, Foss.
Sorry, Foss.
Everyone else enjoyed that.
No, I'm not sorry. That's exactly what you deserve.
You see, that's only twice as many times as I beat your fucking ass in Melty Blood, you bitch.
Go down one more.
Okay.
Wow.
Damn, I don't know think biblically accurate angels are.
You know,
Oh,
I
you
mean,
want to
if
see
you've been
one?
into a,
I
if
can
you've
show
been
you
into
one.
if you've been into a throne, would that be like biting into a table filled with
No,
lies?
it's
Hmm.
biting into a donut of
Hmm.
just got a really bad filling.
Johan, isn't that cannibalism at some
I mean, okay, look,
Uh,
it's only if it's
oh.
not cannibalism if you only eat the wings.
Why?
If you eat
Why?
anything, any
Why?
part of the arms, legs, or body,
Christian,
then it's possibly cannibalism.
Al
up?
stand.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the
no.
thing.
Everyone's
Biblical
look.
angels.
Everything clicks. Everyone give a shout out and a clap for
Yeah.
Chuckle to being from timeline where I could grab a corpse part. That really wrapped it all
Yeah,
together.
absolutely.
That was really important.
Yeah.
You didn't know I was doing that, but hey, that was great.
No joke though, like on an entirely serious note, like for now with Christian stepping down, now is exactly the perfect time to show like whatever appreciation you have for CI and the way Christians run it. Like now's the fucking time. Either say it live, like I'd love to hear from you players, but like for everybody in audience, Adam send a message telling me to do a good job.
Should we go?
Yeah.
Should we go in an order, just
Yeah,
giving
do
Christian
that.
props?
Yeah, but also first, before all you guys, while Christian is stepping down as GM for CI for now, he has other projects that he works on and loves doing other things, which you can support on his
Yeah, post the links,
Patreon.
boy.
Limited plug works.
Post the links, boy.
Sure thing,
give
plug
him-
man.
Give him
Post
money
the
so he
links,
can spend
link
3 years
poster.
writing the Bible again.
The
Christian,
third
you wrote the
testament,
Bible
it's
way
here.
quicker than those
See,
other
it makes
dorks.
sense.
His name is Christian, and the faith is Christianity.
My
Lined up. He was behind
Can
it
we-
the whole time.
Can we get the fucking Always Sunny Always Sunny collage board of Pepe Sylvia, but it's Christianity instead.
Hey, Angra.
Christianity. Why is this always Christianity? The guy doesn't even work here.
I think J-Man has shared. I think James has shared his appreciation with me. So,
Yeah.
If you,
Oh no, I'll get to you, fucker.
Yeah, Ungra from the top. Say nice things to Christian.
Okay. Okay. How long can I go on? Because I have a lot to say.
Whoa.
Okay, so this is about the third time I'll tell you all this, but hi, I'm Angra. I'm from Brazil, and when I started playing with these guys, I was a 16-year-old dumbass who wanted to impress Jay, so I got onto DCC and I immediately killed my character screaming, "Yeah, man!" After DCC ended, DCC went on a longer hiatus than CI did.
Fun fact.
But
Don't tell anyone.
after DCC quote unquote ended, Christian showed the system he was working on our now dead old Discord server, and I was like, dude, we gotta play this, and he was like, it's kind of and then dude, we gotta play this, and then I kept bullying him up until the point where we got to play some test games. Those were terrible, by the way, but it was amazing. And we slowly but surely started carving out CI. And looking at where it is now, I can hardly believe it started with a Stardust Crusader ripoff in which my stand was, I can create diseases.
Yeah.
Christian is I'll be honest, I haven't played many TTRPGs. I think this is like my second real one because I don't really count DCC.
Yeah.
And it's the first one I've actually role played in. But in my short experience, I can surely say that Christian is without a shadow of a doubt the best GM I've ever played with in my life.
Thank
Because
you so much.
fucking hell, dude, CI is a roller coaster that gives me so much anxiety, and I love it. I look at what's going on, and I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. But inside, I'm...
Thank you.
And I've never experienced this with anything other than, I don't know, fucking Monster.
Oh, that's high praise. Thank you so much.
And fuck, dude, you're so amazing, and I hope our sorry asses here can carry on the legacy with these self-GM'd sessions.
You will.
It'll be my
because-
first time GMing, by the way, so please be kind.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about it. We got you. We'll help.
Yeah, because it's going to be
Yeah.
fun, and that's the big thing. And really, I'm just excited to see what you do. Like, I'll interrupt before, like, really fast when I say, like, I basically got every last thing I wanted to, like, squeeze out before just letting the narrative run wild for myself. And from this point on, I just want to see how everyone does the rest. Like, look, I made all of the Bible shit click. It's done. I don't have to worry anymore. You know what's going on.
Fucking Pepe Sylvia.
So
Yeah.
TLDR, Christian is an amazing GM, and I really appreciate him for giving me the most awesome TTRPG experience I've ever had, including DCC.
Thank you.
Also, shout out to all the players who are amazing people, and thank you very much for being friends with me.
Dude,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Okay.
We're going
Next
in
up.
order.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fully to eternity.
Oh, hello. Yeah, this has been a really fun ride from the very beginning. I was trying to go for, like, something kind of dark and gritty and edgy because I'm an edgelord with fucking Roy, and then it has turned out to be one of the most wholesome, softest fucking endings so far I have had. This is fantastic. I really enjoy this.
anti-edge countermeasures.
Right? Right?
You get that thing that goats get when they're babies and they're dumb and they want to bonk their like horns against everything.
Oh, they put the
They put the pool noodles
on their
Yeah.
horns.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian put pool noodles on your horns, dude. You're not allowed to.
Like,
Speaking from experience.
like I'm looking.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm looking at Roy, and this is my first vampire character, and I think I went pretty hard on all of the edginess and all of that. And not only does he have his wife back, but he is now not a vampire, and he has a kid. Like this is fantastic. I love this, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next.
New objective: survive.
Yeah, no objective, survive, because you know what? Nobody lives forever.
Nobody knows what anyone else is gonna throw at them, and that's terrifying on a whole different level. I'm waiting my turn, but ooh!
Go ahead, James.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So, this is my DCC was my first time interacting with this group as a whole, and Carbon Interface was my first serious TTRPG in general. And Christian, I want you to know that of the one serious GM I have ever had, you are the one best GM I've ever had.
Thank you.
You know, this has been an absolute treat. This has honestly been one of the best things of my life. It's been one of the most positive influences in my life. And I am very grateful for everyone here, both in call and watching, for being a part of what is definitively the best chapter of my life. Thank you all for making my life a lot better and for contributing to the person I am right now.
Cheers.
Dude.
Also, Christian, I have sacrilege streams to share with you. We can take notes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll plug our sacrilege streams, which is our Wind Warco streams, where we occasionally get brought into biblical discussions about whether or not eating angels is considered cannibalism.
Yeah,
and you, Nephilim.
And you can
Whether or
find that
not you
on our
can fuck.
website.
Yeah.
I would
link,
love to
boy.
be. I would love to be in conversations about that in the future. Just saying.
Oh yeah, no, it's a
I think
fucking
it's very important for future session planning. Anyways,
I have thoughts.
Bring my granny to this conversation.
Post the link poster. Anyway.
hey Dad. Hey Dad.
Dad,
Dad, how'd
is
I
that-
do?
Dad, what are you hunting? Cigarettes. Oh, gee, Dad. Does that mean you're gonna come home? No, I'm a terrible shot. Why, Dad? I'm blind in both eyes. Oh, fuck, Dad. Anyway, thank you. I love you all.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm-
Here you go, Jibo.
I'm looking
Shiny.
forward to giving
Yes.
you a good family experience, James.
Oh, please do.
That's
Here, Jibo, take this teddy bear, which is in no way representative of who you are. I'm gonna go win you something.
Hey, Christian.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Thank you so much, Brennan. Thank
No,
you.
that should have.
He affirmed. He gave you affirmation so hard it got censored.
He doesn't
No,
censor me.
this is not my first tabletop game. Obviously, I've
Yeah.
played a million tabletop games, and with people such as television's Freddie Prinze Jr. And I've told you this in private, so you already know. I don't need to say it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You're my favorite GM. So thank you for this game. This is a good game. Presley is one of my favorite characters that I've had, and largely that's because of the situations you put her in. So, and thank you because I know it's been hard, but thank you for pushing through to the end to give me my little baby arc at the end. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That was one of
that's-
the other very important things I wanted to do before I handed it over.
Yeah, I could tell you were forcing it through for me, so I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
No, I had a lot of fun with that arc. Don't you dare. Thank you too, Brennan. I'm glad you popped on in session 2.
God.
I still remember the panic in your voice when that happened.
I guess that's me next. What you call it? Christian, you've informed a huge amount of my GMing style. I don't got anything fancier than that, but you know how important that is to me.
Yeah, I know.
It's fucking crucial. You're the best. Thanks for carrying it through up to this point. And you're obviously going to be back for the juiciest morsel at the end. So, thank you so much for all of this. Similarly, thanks for fucking taking a risk on this idea.
Yeah, I'm really glad.
This is really cool, and I wanna shout everybody out. The second Christian's like, "Yo, I'm doing this thing," everyone's like, "Oh, oh, very cool." So
yeah,
no, this is sick, and thank you for doing this.
Jay, it wasn't the second he said that; it was a couple episodes in.
Of course.
Christian throws out the this is what's gonna happen. Everyone, public domain, you say.
Interesting.
I see.
Oh, I'm really glad, and thank you so much, Jay, too, for taking this too, because I also immensely respect your GMing style a lot, and I'm really, really glad and excited that you decided to immediately step up and be like, "I'll handle it. I'm fucking handling it." It literally means so much to me, because also your GMing style has informed a lot of what my style is, so it's kind of like an Ouroboros. So yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of GMs, I appreciate a lot. Hey, there's one more person.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
You've never seen anything I've DM'd, chat, and that's gonna change, I guess.
Gonna change.
Christian has been one of my closest friends for has it been a decade now?
No, it hasn't been a decade yet. I think it was 3 more years and it's a decade, I think.
Really?
It's been 50 years.
It's only been that long.
Yeah, it's 5, because I remember I met you and yeah, it's only been
it was sophomore year for me, and it's been a while. I don't know. It's been a good long time.
It's close. I don't know. It's long enough.
Dating back to the earliest times of high school, when Christian was baby-faced, and we were it's true. That's true. But now you have more beard going on. And we had speech together, and we sure did some weird things in speech class. No,
what did he mean by this?
It's not gay to kiss a homie.
There were events where the teacher had us instead of speech had us basically acting, and we had pulled words from a hat, and we did scenes together. And it was weird. It was weird. We also, Christian volunteered us. I didn't choose this. Volunteered us in a debate with the professor. With the professor.
Did you beat him?
Well, no. He destroyed us. It was not even no contest, but it was a debate over who was a more threatening entity in the world government situation.
I mean, are you gonna argue with the guy who puts the Christian?
The Christian
and Christian.
But my point with that is earliest stages. I've been with Christian for some very strange games. We have those rogue trader adventures that we story timed a little of, like 1/3 of. We have
the tamest shit.
We didn't even go into the crazy part. The MICA game that Christian's module that was run earlier on before he started cementing himself as an actual DM here. That was something built off of a game that Christian ran. Yes, exactly. Fight at the Museum was built off of a game that I was a player in, Christian ran. So I have the greatest experience of years of this, and I don't know where I'm going with this. I just really appreciate it. I mean, it's I don't know how to put this into easy, good, simple words. Christian goes way above and beyond as a DM in a lot of ways that no other group I've been part of has really done yet. That's who else is I'm just gonna, oh, you want to do this? Sure, let's just alter the entire scope of the game. Whatever, cool, man. Every game I've played with him, every time. Hey, I want to do this. Hey, I want to rebrand my character as a paladin. Okay, well, let's just make you wade through the river of death. That's a story for another time. It's just there's so much, and it's like I don't know how to compress this into an easy consumable thing. Yeah, I'm going to do my best not to just slap CI right in the face and steal its candy and run away when I'm DMing.
Thank you so much. And again, I agree with that. It's just been a great time, and honestly, like, you don't need to, because I was there for all of it, and I appreciated it all. So thank you so much for playing me for this long.
Yeah.
And thanks to chat for sticking through for this long to see the fucking 2-year-long hiatus end. I really appreciate that too.
Yeah, good use of the public domain here, Christian. I didn't think
What hiatus? It was only a 2-month break.
Look, man, it's only amount of time before CI gets got by copyright. So, like, you know, opening it up to free domain so you guys can do it is just what, you know, is
yeah, so that we can
happen.
continue after Christian goes to jail.
Yeah. That's the real thing. Sorry, chat. By the way, the real reason that there's a break is because Christian is going to super fucker jail.
See,
no. So anyways,
your America's law do not apply to me.
The Pope caught on that Christian is including the Bible in PI. However, unfortunately for the Vatican, Christian has a V of his own, a VPN. That's right. Today's sponsor.
No, seriously, no.
Can you imagine if we went into that?
Jesus.
James, you're too fucking funny.
Yeah.
But hey, if you really want to sponsor Christian's attorney fund and bail money, hey, aloha, Shill is thinking.
Got it. Okay.
All right, there it is. There's his Patreon.
Eternity fund.
Hey, everyone, thank you all for showing up today.
Is Christian my mom?
Because if we end the stream now, it's under 4 hours, and that's
yeah. All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
I'll go listen to fucking Love Train. Be real. Be right back.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.